Stars and Strikes Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet.
It's Stars and Strikes Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Tonight we come to you from Mount Pleasant, a virtually brand new stadium and the new home of the Wando Warriors. They're kicking off their season tonight against the Greenway, already off to a 1-0 start. We welcome you downfield level here. Darren Goldwater, the ABC News 4 main anchor. Dean Stevens just touched on it. Summerville got past a very, very good 2A team in Woodland, so they've already got some game experience under their belt.
And I think that's a big advantage for Summerville. Wando coming in with their first game. They did not play last week. Summerville already battle tested.
And what we know about these Greenway, they will rely on their rushing game, a two-headed attack that went for more than 1,000 yards a year ago.
And more than 200 yards last week. Jimmy Noonan knows they're going to come at him. They're going to come at him with Darian Larry. He had about 81 yards last week. And then KJ Rollins ripped off about 140 on just 7 carries. We'll see him ground and pound all night.
They're going to ground and pound. Wando wants to get the ball out of their quarterback's hands quickly. They want to keep this thing in the air. And it's Pritchard who won about a 3 or 4 quarterback battle in camp.
Jimmy Noonan told me before this game, this quarterback battle literally came down to this week. Pritchard, a transfer from West Forest up in North Carolina. He will get the start tonight under center, and they do want to get the ball out of his hands quick.
All right, our daughter here, Grayson Goldwater. Her mom went to Summerville. We are at Wando. D'Angela's mom went to Wando. Woo-hoo! Who's going to win?
Summerville! Summerville!
Oh. All right, it's a clean sweep. Who's it going to be on Stars and Strikes Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet? All right, this is Darren giving you a quick check on the state of South Carolina at midfield. They have a good idea. The PA guy said that, whose name is Rick Stein, by the way, said that we should figure out what city he's tackled in if he's tackled in the state.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Better? Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Week 2, Stars and Strikes, Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet, welcomes you here to Wando for their season opening matchup against the Green Wave of Summerville, who took on a very good Woodland team. First time they matched up in the regular season in program history. They alternated touchdowns until it was about 21-20, and then Summerville blew them out. Game time and temperature brought to you by Roper St. Francis, as the Wando band is getting set to welcome both teams onto the field. A pleasant night here in Mount Pleasant. 82 degrees, maybe a little bit of a breeze. and a very comfortable evening for some football, especially on the Wando side here to kick off their 2019 season.
Well, I think we got a little break last week with the temperature, an absolutely perfect night for football tonight, and an absolutely incredible setting. First time we have been out here for a Friday Night Rivals game. Last year was their first inaugural year that they opened up this facility. About a $16 million project, and it has got all the bells and whistles, and it is absolutely perfect.
Charleston County District 2 Stadium, but for what it's worth, it's Wando's place right now. Keys to the game right now. For that, we give you back to Dean Stevens.
Well, if you start with Summerville, we talked about it early on. They're going to ground and pound. That is exactly what they're going to want to do. Last week against Woodland, those two running backs we talked to you about, Larry and also Rollins, I think they rushed for 25 carries. So I think they threw the ball, 4 times or so? So you know exactly what they're going to do. Jimmy Noonan told me before the game, they're going to run it. We just got to be able to fill the seed gaps. As for Wando, I think they've got to start out strong. We saw it last week with the inaugural game, the first game of the season with Fort Dorchester and Glen Academy. Mistakes are going to be made. Is it because it was the first game of the year? Wando needs to eliminate those early on, get a strong start, and see what happens from there.
To that point, Joe Call was telling me today, he said, listen, there's just no way we can simulate live game action. It doesn't matter how hard you try. So we've kept them on the field every allotted second that we could, and we've done our best to do these 11-on-11s. But I think that's the biggest advantage for the Green Wave. They have 4 quarters of live game action under their belts, whereas Wando, you can expect a couple of hiccups here, maybe in the first couple of minutes.
What's the old saying? It's you got a pretty good plan until you get punched in the mouth the first time.
That's the saying.
That's how it goes. So we'll see how Wando responds. They were 4-7 last year. 3 of those losses, I think, were by 9 points, right? 7-4, a lot better than 4-7, obviously. But this is a team that was very competitive. But the big question mark tonight, be interesting to see what happens with this quarterback position. Be great to see Braden Pritchard, see what he's got tonight.
Another Braden is going to kick things off here for the Green Wave. Braden Gregory, one of the top-ranked junior kickers in the state, sends a twisting line drive that is taken by Macon Glover here, and Glover's got a seam. How about this start for the Warriors? Glover's inside the 30, a foot race now inside the 20, tiptoeing his way down. He's out of bounds inside the 5.
It's easy to run 94 yards when you don't get touched or punched in the mouth. He takes it right up the middle. Great job. Look at that wall of blockers, the wall of maroon. And then you know what Macon's do? He's just making bacon. That's all he's doing. Good block there on the side by number 43. Helps him pick up another couple of yards.
If there's a way to get rid of any type of opening game jitters,
That'll
that
do.
should do it. And now we get a look at this Wando offense here. And number 7, Braden Pritchard. Started his career at high school in North Carolina. This will be his first snap taken for the Warriors. 0 passes thrown in the junior's career. They want to get it out of his hands quickly, but they'll have a flag here on the opening play as Jaden Singleton, 28, is the starter at running back.
Singleton came into this program a couple of years ago and was absolutely the man. Then suffered a knee injury, and it's taken a while to get back, so we'll see what he brings to the table tonight.
Yeah, he only had about 200 yards rushing last year because of it. So Summerville gets gashed on the opening kickoff, then jump offside. So Wando's got it now, just outside the shadow of the goal line. Pritchard, the lefty, touchdown! Just like that, Sullivan Vanderveen and Braden Pritchard connects. It took 18 seconds for the Warriors to take the lead.
We'll take a look what he sees here. A little fake inside, the lefty back. Nobody follows Vanderveen. And I mean nobody. Those are 2 plays where there was very little contact, both on the coverage and the pass.
And what's interesting is the defense is, according to those who are closest to Summerville, that's their calling card.
Woodland did throw for 300 yards on them last week. Maybe Wando saw something they liked.
New kicker Arthur Roca tacks on the extra point, and Wando couldn't have written a better start. 18 seconds into their opener this season, they have taken a lead on the Green Wave, who won Region 8-5A last year, finally getting past Fort Dorchester, and are already off to a 1-0 start in the year.
I don't know if any questions have been answered early on in this game, but this is the way you want to start things out.
Yeah, there hasn't been many questions or answers. There's a busted coverage and another busted coverage. Here are your offensive starters now for the Green Wave, brought to you by Spinks. Keep an eye on number 7, Brody Hopkins. You'll see him in the offensive side of the ball. You'll see him on the defensive side of the ball. He is a guy who is considered by Joe Call as the consummate leader. And after his career is done, he's probably a baseball player. He's already committed to College of Charleston. Alex Heller kicks off after Roca hammered through the extra point. And this one's taken up from the 6. This is KJ Rollins. And Rollins is out to about the 37. Your Spinks defense for the Wando Warriors. Kalik Edwards, 93 at the bottom, got a late start. Daniel Grant was a scratch. You'll also notice 42, Jake Fetchin. He is not listed there. Maybe the best linebacker they've got.
Yep.
They're hoping to have him back in a couple of weeks.
Well, somebody's got to fill the void left by Justin Pellick, if you remember him. That guy played, well, it seemed like every down with a broken arm, 2 broken arms. Walked on at Florida, but he was the heart and soul of that defense who steps up to take that role right now.
Colby Shirey is a sophomore quarterback, and they've started to open things up a little bit more for him. Here's Brody Hopkins on the edge, who lowers his helmet into Matt Gresham and picks up maybe an extra yard.
Terrell Miller coming in with over the top to kind of stop him. But we will call Brody Hopkins' name quite a bit tonight. They're going to find a way to get his ball in his hand. He's the best athlete on the team. See the high-low hit.
Hopkins was playing a lot of baseball over the summer, but never missed a single football workout as he prepares for his college baseball career. Up the middle, look at this. Darian Larry is like a Mack truck bulldozing his way through for a first down. A Lowcountry Orthopedics and Sports Medicine first down.
Well, that's what Jimmy Noonan was talking about, filling those C gaps, and they just went right up the middle. Like a little bowling ball, a big bowling ball. I mean to insult a little bowling ball.
5'7", 200 is what the senior Larry is listed at. You're going to get a look at him here again as he picks his way across the edge. You see the patience there. Colby McQueen, 45, leads the linebacking core to get there with the tackle.
Well, you see the difference. You got Rollins on that kickoff return. You saw the slash and the speed. And then Larry's just going to just roll you.
Joe Call said something funny today. He said, you know, it sounds silly. It's like sometimes you really got to learn how to score touchdowns. You can run routes, you can run plays, but finishing. There's a first down run for Shirey. He said that's one of the things that Darian Larry has learned this year. It's not just the first cut, it's the awareness of where everybody else is on the field. Find out how to score.
You also got to remember, too, quarterback for Summerville, just a sophomore, right? It's tough to come into this league, this conference. And that's what Joe Call said about it. He's got a lot of poise and likes the way he directs his offense.
Shirey up the middle here. Larry with one cut, and he's strung down again by McQueen. Senior linebacker with a couple of stops here, but that's another chunk pickup of about 5.
They open it up with a pass play, and then they just go right to the ground. The front three's got to hold up that line, and the linebacker's got to come in and fill the gaps.
And against the 3-4, you need some pressure up the middle. They come with the reverse. It's Brody Hopkins, and he lost the football. It's scooped up by the Warriors. Colin Bryant brings it out across the 45, and there's an injured Greenway player down at the 20.
Hopkins is down at the 20, face down on the turf. He is moving. He is up now on his own, and he's going to run off. And he wants nothing to do with the trainers. But take a look at the hit. It's a great play. The line does a nice job. It's that number 4 that comes in and hits him with that Will Pickering I believe, that came in and made the hit.
You're right. There it is. Great work by the crew. Pickard, who played quarterback last year, but they need him in the secondary this year. It's a physical-looking quarterback. Meanwhile, Hopkins, who does play both ways and in some ways went viral, at least in this area, with a hit. I don't know if it was last week's game or one of the Dorchester preseason scrimmages.
Yep. I'd love to see that again. I didn't get a chance to see. Was it head?
There was a little bit of head, yes. There was a little bit of helmet to helmet.
Well, that sets Wando up now to 45.
And back to the air they go. This is McCarthy and a first down into Green Wave territory. Give him 15 yards.
Here you see him come through. He leads with his shoulder. I'm fine with that play, right?
Yeah, I'm okay with the play, but there was some contact up there. And unfortunately for the Green Wave, they're already playing shorthanded. Some of their top talent is not available. Pritchard throws behind his intended target here, and Glover can't bring it in. It brings up second down. The injuries for Summerville: Luke Taylor, one of their captains. In fact, 3 captains are not available tonight for Summerville. Luke Taylor is a linebacker, one of the best in the low country. Xavier Davis, a captain on the defensive line, probably a 1AA type talent. He's not available today. And their best offensive lineman, who has already committed to Rhode Island, McKay, he's not available today.
That's a lot of injuries early on.
So you certainly don't want Hopkins to add to that list.
Wando has certainly come out, and I don't know if they surprised Heady, but they've certainly got Summerville's attention. 3 big plays already in this first quarter.
Pritchard again over the middle. This one is off the hands of Gabe Major, and it brings up third down. Here's the offense we've been talking about. Gabe Major, number 9, towards the bottom, was the intended target right there. You will see some of Will Harris, and you've already seen some of Jaden Singleton, the running backs. The offense brought to you by Spinks. Summerville's defense, we told you who's not there, but who is. How about Nick Chambers, number 40? He has stepped up very well recently, according to Joe Call. First third down of the game here for the Warriors. Summerville brings 4, and it is juggled and picked off. Pritchard threw it directly to him, and the interception is brought in by Nick Chambers.
Looking for one of his main targets, Dylan McCarthy. On the second down pass, that was a little bit behind him as well. This one just a little short, telegraph. Summerville makes a jump on the ball.
Look at that. You bring up Chambers, you talk about how his coach is pleased with his progress, and the ball finds him.
Well, it's interesting how Wando just decided to attack the Summerville secondary, much like Woodland did. Hopkins back in the game, by the way, top of the screen. Rollins goes to the right.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was checking on to make sure that it was him, and it is, so he's okay. And this is kind of the lightning to the thunder of their running back game, Rollins. Rollins had 139 yards last week on 7 carries. Guy in front of him had 19 carries just to soften up the defense.
I was watching Brody during the defensive set, and he was kind of off standing by himself. But the key was a trainer was not holding the helmet for him. It was on his head, and there was no question he was coming back.
To the ground here, Shirey, and that's Colby McQueen again. How many times can we call Colby McQueen's name check at 25, not 45? So give it to Will Parrott instead of McQueen.
Well, Shirey's got to be a little bit patient. He's got number 60 as guard pulling. That was Matthew Dunn. 6 foot 245. All he had to do was wait on him another second, let him get out in front, but he didn't. He pressed the hole and was stopped for a yard.
This is the longest trip of the year for the Green Wave. You believe it? The regular season?
Really?
That's it. Summerville up to Wando, the longest trip of the year for them. And Summerville takes a timeout here. Proud of this third down play. Their offensive coordinator, Hunter Spivey, maybe didn't like what he saw. And we've got our first timeout here from Wando. The Warriors with an early lead thanks to a long kick return and an early touchdown 18 seconds in. So a third down try coming up for the sophomore Shirey and the Green Wave offense. They need to get just across their own 48 to pick up this first down. KJ Rollins is to the left of Shirey for this third down play. And it's going to be him. He cuts his way inside of Trayvon Green, but Green is able to slow him up after a 2-yard run. While we got a second, Dean, let's throw it down to our third member of the crew. Megan Rivers is standing by.
Hey, you guys. I'm down here with Brian from Stars and Strikes. How you doing, my friend?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Exciting game we're having down here on the field, but you guys have some exciting times coming up at Stars and Strikes. What are the holiday specials right now?
Absolutely. Right now we are doing all kinds of things for the holidays. So the biggest thing is we're getting ready to have all our holiday parties booked out for the whole winter time. If you're a corporate party or a big company, go ahead and book with us now. We are filling up those slots fast, and you never know when Santa might show up.
Ooh, all right. So holidays are coming up, like you said, right? So everybody's on a budget. If I'm coming with a gang of people, but I'm on a budget, what can I do at Stars and Strikes?
Well, the number one thing is you want to stop by our sales office. As soon as you come through the door there, our awesome sales team, Deidre, Amanda, as well as Michelle will be there. We have awesome packages like the Bowling Blast. That's our most popular one. Starting at $9.99, it lets you get some food, it lets you bowl, and lets you get to play in the arcade for a little bit there. So it gives you kind of a taste of everything, and it doesn't cost you that much.
All right, for the folks who don't know where Stars and Strikes are, tell them where it is.
We're off Ladson Road in Summerville area, right next to Ladson and Dorchester Road. Come out and see us. We're having a great time.
All righty, that's it from Stars and Strikes. Dean and Darren, I'll send things back up to you guys.
How about the cut from Singleton? Bottled up in the middle, knifes his way to the outside, and just like that, the Warriors back into Green Wave territory.
And that's what they have been waiting on for 3 years from this young man. He came in here, had that knee injury, but before the knee injury, he was going to be the guy that followed up kids like Kenny Waring, be that next big running back. I got to tell you, Dylan McCarthy, great job on the ice side, holding his block, but not holding the jersey. And once Singleton got by, he releases.
That's almost more rushing yards than Woodland had on him last week. Floating ball for McCarthy is just out of his reach. Step for step was Jaden James. We got to go back down to Megan Rivers because there's a $500 check presentation here.
Here with me, and what's it like to get this donation?
It's wonderful. Any money that we have coming in that'll benefit our children, we welcome.
Okay, and you guys are having a good start to your game.
Absolutely. Good night.
Okay, and we'll be checking in with Miss Eppelshire.
Eppelsheimer.
There we go. Miss Eppelsheimer a little bit later on in the game, you guys. Dean Darren, I'll send it back up to you guys.
Oh, Miss Eppelsheimer is fortunate that ball slipped through the fingers of Nick Chambers. It'll bring up third down now for the Warriors. Stars and Strikes proud to present each participating homeschool a check for $500. The grant provides each school with extra funding to help make their school great. Over the past 9 seasons, Friday Night Rivals and our sponsors have donated over $100,000 to Low Country students and schools. Congratulations from My TV Charleston, ABC News 4, and Stars and Strikes.
So McQueen, Chambers, those are the 2 names we're hearing right now on defense. Chambers missing that interception there, but those are the 2 guys leading the way on both sides of the football.
Yeah, Chambers already has 1 pick. This one high for McCarthy, and it brings up fourth down here for the Warriors. One of the things that Jimmy Noonan was a little concerned with heading into this season is the kicking game, because he has had kickers.
He's had good kickers.
He's had very good kickers.
Played kickers.
Yes, and punters. One of them was his son, the punter, Kellen.
Yeah.
He's not there anymore. And Andrew Weil is kicking for NC State.
Yeah, and then the kid over at USC, Wando kid.
That's true. But they'll punt this one, and it's a nice line drive from Heller that Summerville will back away from. Brody Hopkins has already taken one punishing hit, didn't want another, and that one is down at the 9-yard line. That's a 39-yard punt, perfectly executed.
Will Parrott thought he was going to get a freebie, thinking maybe Summerville had touched it. Jimmy Noonan might as well just get in the defensive huddle. He's that far out. Let's see that replay, JB. This is what they're screaming about. They think that ball was touched. Noonan's past the 20 on the field between the hash marks. So you see Brody kind of step away from it. I don't think that's the question.
It's hard to tell right
Somewhere
there.
in the scrum. It's kind of like the follow-up to the book Between the Pines. Somewhere in the scrum. It's the title of your new book, Deke.
It is?
Yeah.
I better get to writing. So backed up in their own end, they go back to Darian Larry now, and he just pounds his way through the middle and breaks it out to the 25 for 16 yards. All right, we're giving you an opportunity to get interactive with the program. Tonight's Rockstar Cheer of the Night. And this year it's different. You got to go online, abcnews4.com/poll. You vote for the cheer squad that you think did a better job. The poll results will be given to you in the second half.
That's about, yeah.
It's Larry
He's gonna
again.
break it.
Larry slipped one about 10 yards past the line of scrimmage, and then Pickering caught up to him at the 45. So that's 20 more yards there for Larry.
Well, watch McQueen. You're not supposed to be trying to, you're the linebacker. You don't want to make tackles 10 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. But they've got to do a better job stopping them at the point of attack.
.36 yards on the ground the last 2 plays for Larry, but you can back him up a couple here. Blowing it up in the backfield is Will Brown, and he's the guy who's in there replacing Pellick, Dean, who you already talked about.
Darian's got to come in, lost his helmet. Yeah, just a bad exchange, little fumble by the Summerville quarterback, allowed Wando's defense to come in, make the stop. Loss of 2, kind of disrupted the whole rhythm of that play.
So with his helmet popping off, it'll be KJ Rollins in. Summerville put up 50 points last week, but they alternated scores until early in the third quarter. Here the pocket breaks down and Shirey goes down. Colby McQueen is in there again.
Nice push by the front of that Wando defensive front. Wando, the pocket just collapsed. Shirey, not sure he could do much there. Nothing open downfield. Interesting though how the trend. I mean, they rip off a couple of 20 yards runs with Larry, and they have a little missed snap, and then try to throw the ball, and all of a sudden you're in a third and really long. You see what Wando's defense does? They bring pressure, or they sit back and just make it in the zone.
They need the 45 of the Warriors. They set up a screen here to Rollins, and that's going to pick up what was lost on the last 2 plays. So it brings up 4th down and 10. For a team that put up 50 points and whose offense was pretty darn impressive against Woodland.
Yep.
They've come out, well, a little bit
Flat.
out of sync, yes.
Out of sync.
Inconsistent, I think, is the really challenging word I was going for. But how about this kick?
Brody's foot feels fine.
Yeah, Brody's foot is fine, and Pickering makes the fair catch at his own 3. They might give him the 4.
He touched his chest to say, my bad. Maybe should have let that bounce. But I'm going to tell you, you go back to that hit on Hopkins. I think that set the tone for this Wando defense. And again, Hopkins a big part of the way they run their offense. That offense with pounding it away and then, you know, shooting a quick ball to him on the outside, letting him make some things happen. But we've not seen him back with the ball in his hands again, aside from punts.
That punt, however, could change the script of the game for the Green Wave if their defense can come up with a couple plays here. They're going to hand this off to Singleton, who stretches it to get it a little bit of extra room out to maybe the 7.
Daniel Jackson had him spotlighted the entire way. We got to keep an eye on Dorian as the hurricane approaches Florida. Dave Williams has been all over this thing from the get-go. He'll give you updates on the air, online, and also on social media. I think the latest coordinates will come back. The next one will come out at around 11 o'clock. And see what it looks like. It's projected to be a Cat 4 when it hits South Florida, and then it's going to take a right turn, and that's where the big question mark comes in.
Dave will keep his eye on it, though, so follow him on ABC News 4, and he's all over social media as well. Over the middle, was it complete first? No. Incomplete, and a break for the Warriors as Glover couldn't hang on.
All right, let's take a look. That ball's put right on the money. Yeah, I don't think he ever really had a chance to bring it in. Nice play by the defensive back to get his hands in there, kind of restrict the catching zone.
Yeah, I think it was the right call. So Braden Pritchard, the 6-foot, 170-pound junior, who won a 4-quarterback battle in camp to be the starter here on opening night. Faces some pressure on 3rd down, and the completion to Glover. 1 cut and a 1st down. Chambers comes over to make the stop, helping out Roan Shaver.
I'll tell you what impressed me the most about that throw is he had some erratic throws the first few series. He just stepped into that throw, put it on the money. Good for Jimmy Noonan to trust his new quarterback instead of maybe just taking a safer route there and trying to run the ball.
The receiving group for the Warriors is the most talented depth-wise, at least coming back from last year, and Glover was the leading receiver last year. As big as the 1st down was, the extra space equally valuable for the Warriors. The middle wide open here for Glover with blockers in front of him, and Glover sprints forward. 14 more from Pritchard to Glover.
Just a really well-designed play and executed perfectly by that front 5. And Pritchard waits, patient. Glover turns it straight upfield and picks up 14.
You know, look at that play design. Everyone swept out to the left, and the middle was left wide open.
Gonna do it again.
Trying to. Here's Singleton. He's met instantly by Chambers. Maybe a yard on 1st down.
I like the play a lot. I'm not sure I like it a whole lot back-to-back.
It's been the bread and butter so far here in the 1st quarter for the Warriors. Yep. And variations of short passes over the middle. Pritchard's got his signs. His head coach, the veteran Jimmy Noonan, who started his career in the upstate. Andre Roberts was one of his prized high school pupils back in the day. We got a flag in here as Singleton lowers the boom for a 1st down, but we'll check on that.
Well, you're going to get a hole right around the line of the scrimmage. expect this to come back. You like the way Singleton runs, though, don't you?
Yes. You can see why that the Warriors have wanted him healthy the last few years. So back him up to the 26 here for second down and long. If you're just joining us, the quarter has been dominated by the Warriors. They took the opening kickoff back inside of the 10. After an offside from Summerville, Pritchard connected over the middle for a touchdown strike to Vanderveen in the H-back. 18 seconds into the game, we stay right now with the same score.
Will Harris checked in for Singleton. He's almost playing like an H-back roll, split off just to the right. So you've got basically 5 receivers in on second and a whole bunch.
Deep drop here for Pritchard, who steps up and away from pressure. Wow, that's an impressive heady move for a guy that hasn't taken a snap in a Warriors uniform before today.
Well, went through his first progression, didn't like what he saw, then he felt the pressure coming to the backside, and that's when he really, nice job right here. You see him step up, avoid the rush, and then he's going to tuck it and run. And that's one of the things Noonan likes about him. Gives him that versatility. They can stretch the field a little bit with his legs.
He didn't panic. He didn't step up and immediately take off. He slid up in the pocket, and then when he had to take off, he did. That's a more savvy play, I think, than it looked.
Yep. That pocket presence.
Play clock was about the same as the game clock. As the pressure comes on Pritchard, he throws into double coverage, and it's incomplete. And that'll be the final play here in the first quarter. The Warriors, the only team on the board here in the opening 12 minutes. East of the Cooper. It's a 7-0 lead in Wando's season opener. Stars and Strikes Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Just about 80 yards of total offense in that opening quarter for Summerville. It's more offense than Wando had because their opening drive started inside the 10. And Wando will punt as we bring you back to start this second quarter. Look at number 10 right there in the middle of the line, long snapper.
Yep.
This is the first time I've ever said one of the highest rated long snappers in the country.
I saw that note on your pad earlier. I
It's
didn't even
true.
know it was a thing.
It's a thing.
Right.
The 18th rated long snapper in the class of 2021. He averages 0.68 seconds to get that ball back to the punter. If you're below 0.8, you're pretty good.
Right.
If you're in the low to mid sevens,
right.
I mean, that's quality. If you're below 7,
right,
he's going to play at potentially big level college football because of his ability to do this.
Do you get a star? Are you a 2-star snapper?
No, he's got to be more than that if you're the
Right?
18th rated.
I don't know.
You got to be 5 or 4.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Well,
but good for him.
Yeah, you're 18th rated. Take how many stars you want. You can also take as much peanut butter and jelly as you want. Friday Night Rivals is proud, that would be, To continue to spread the love with the Synovus PB&J Blitz benefiting Low Country Food Bank, the high school that donates the most jars of peanut butter and jelly wins. Synovus will give $100 to the winning school each week, $2,500 to the overall champ at the end of the season. Half of that goes to the school, the other to the Low Country Food Bank. Synovus is proud to help tackle hunger in the Low Country. I do know who won. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but the number is impressive when we do give that out. Yes.
I like that.
Is that a tease?
Yeah.
From the 30, Shirey and company, and Rollins is stuck. That's Colin Bryant on the hit.
Listen, you're going to put your nose in there, put your nose all the way in there. That's a perfect tackle, right? You get the old 1950s how to do it football book, that's what they show. That's the diagram right there.
That number 5 was in contention as well for being a quarterback. He came down from New York and needed him at the linebacking spot. So second down, Rollins nowhere to go this time. In the backfield immediately, again, these Warriors are dominating the line of the Greenway.
Well, they've obviously made adjustments on the defensive side because those gaps were open for the entire first quarter, and now they result in -5 on 2 carries. So good adjustment during the quarter break. It's Ray Rivera, 6'2", 345, comes out of the game. That's how you fill a gap, by the way.
2 very nice stops for this defense.
Yeah. And we've not seen the ball in Hopkins' hands since that hit. He's got him deep now.
Top of the screen, intended target, 2 yards too far. They had help over the top, and Hopkins beat them both. He had about a 5-yard lead on the defense, but Shirey missed him.
There's a great, I've known that family for a long time in the Summerville area, and they're top class. TJ, obviously, we've watched him play here on Friday Night Rivals many, many times. Both the boys, great football players. Both of them, though, I think their heart pulls them towards that baseball side. Brody, as you said, will go play with College of Charleston. Had a good summer playing ball this summer.
End over end kick dropped by Pickering, who falls back on it. Warriors have it at the 38. Do you know where TJ Hopkins is right now?
Like today?
Sure, yeah, today.
Do I know where his minor league team is playing today?
Or where, how about this? Where he is. All right, there you go.
I don't miss this stuff. Come on. He's played well. He's played really well early on. I think, was he a 9th round draft pick?
That
or 10th?
That 7th? I'm not sure. I asked Coach Call earlier today, and talking about Brody, just checking in on TJ. He said, yeah, doing well. He's out in Montana. He's probably going to play for 8 or 9 different levels of the minors, and you'll see him up there one day.
Yep.
Singleton makes a good cut at the initial line, and that's a very nice individual effort there for Singleton to pick up maybe 5.
I do like the way Jimmy Noonan's kind of mixing things up a little bit. I like that they went back to the pass, even though his quarterback had struggled a little bit in a couple series in that first quarter. Let him throw it a little bit in that last series. Now you pick up an impressive 7 yards. You can do a whole lot right here.
Warriors lead it, but they've only had 1 extended drive. Pritchard got it again. Glover over the middle makes the twirling catch before he's planted by McFadden, the junior in the secondary.
He throws a nice ball when he's on target, right from the ear. Glover does a nice job going up to get the ball.
The balance has been impressive. What Dean's talking about, the run game, the passing game, a lot of the passing game is somewhat of an extension of the running game. Short passes, but they're keeping the Green Wave off balance. Pick up the pressure here, and then he takes a late shot. It'll be second down.
It took a long time for that play to develop. Looking at Hill And once he found him in that seam, he had a couple guys around him, and then, of course, the pressure. But that's going to be a situation where, as he gets more and more reps, where he's going to pull that ball down and maybe get out of the pocket, make something happen, use his legs a little bit. Because that was the only receiver he looked at in that progression.
This time they get it out of his hands quickly. Spun down at the 40-yard line. Gabe Major, sophomore, just 140 pounds there, gets him to third down, and let's give him 6. And in keeping the Green Wave off balance, Wando's offense is effectively one of their best pieces of defense. Just keeping the Green Wave off the field.
Got number 19, Brooks Maxwell's in the slot.
It's going to get him 5 yards closer. It's Desmond Southers, unless he was drawn off.
No, Desmond knew, because whenever you go double hands to the face mask,
it's hard to do that and then turn around and sell the fact that it wasn't your fault.
Yes, exactly. Right.
My bad. It wasn't my fault, though.
Right.
Relatively clean game penalty-wise to this point. Summerville's been offside twice. Once the play prior to the touchdown pass from the 2-yard line. And here. Pritchard doesn't even drop, fires one to McCarthy, and he's hit immediately, and it jostles the ball free. Jaden James with another big hit.
Their wide receivers, probably their deepest group. This one's up to his outside shoulder a little bit. Let that ball get to his pads instead of to his hands. 4th and 1 at the 35. Looks like they're going to go for it.
It's funny, the Wando sideline shows you some of their inexperience. They were initially telling the fans to get loud, and now they've kind of realized, and they're trying to calm everybody down.
See if they're going to try to draw him up. They're going to run a play.
Pritchard steps into pressure and fires it long for McCarthy. And they'll turn it over on downs at the 35 of the Green Wave.
Must have seen something on previous plays they liked with that matchup on a 4th and 1. You got Singleton standing right next to you. You've been pretty effective on the ground.
Timeout on the field. 8 minutes left in this second quarter. See if the Green Wave offense can get something going. 4 first downs to this point, no points on Stars and Strikes Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Here at the Chop House, the Wando fans with some big heads.
Who is that?
I'm not sure. You're the one who's been around Wando more than me.
That is very, very, very true. not sure who that was.
I'm assuming it's a player.
Okay.
That'll be my best guess.
Okay.
But it'll be Summerville's ball here. Summerville has fumbled on their opening possession and eventually punted away on their next 3. Haven't found any consistency here. And that one is slow developing before Shirey pulls. Maybe gets a yard, and Pickren pulls him down. And we go down to Megan Rivers.
Alrighty, friends. I'm down here with my good friend Matt from Synovus Bank and Alexis from the Low Country Food Bank. We broke records this week, didn't we?
We blew it out of the water this week.
Okay, I won't say the number. How many pounds of peanut butter and jelly did we collect?
17,455 pounds of peanut butter and jelly, Megan.
Whoa, so that's like the most like ever, right?
That is the most ever by a long shot. So last year, Wando collected 6,000 pounds, which was amazing. This blows it out of the water. So that's enough peanut butter and jelly to make 155,000 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Wow, so that can feed so many people. And Alexis, how many, like, to hear that you guys, they collected such a big donation, how does that help you guys out at the Low Country Food Bank?
We're so excited to receive this donation. Peanut butter is a great resource for us to give out. It's high in protein, it's nutritious, and kids love it. So actually, I did my Low Country Food Bank math, and we know that this is already going to be able to help us procure an entire truckload of peanut butter. So it's a whole entire one, and we'll be able to get it back to the kids and serve the schools, essentially with the ones that have school pantries. So this is going right back into our community to feed the kids that need it in our community.
And collecting this much this early, you were saying that it broke another record too with how much you guys collected before.
That's correct. So about last year, all the schools together collected about 25,000 pounds. So if you do your math, that's about 2/3 of the entire goal from last year. So I don't know about the other high schools, but they really gotta put their muscle in it if they want to try to beat Wando for that grand prize.
Okay, now the other high schools, you may be a little bit smaller. Wando has about, 4,000 students or so.
That's correct, but don't be worried because it's by participation rate. So we divide how much is collected by the amount of student bodies. So there's still a chance for anyone to win.
Ooh, it's getting competitive out here. Now, Matt, you guys present, a school each week, the winner of a school each week. So we're going to make this presentation down to Wando High School. Our principal, Miss Eppelsheimer, is coming with us right now. And they are the lucky winners this week. And how proud of your students are you?
Oh my goodness, our kids step up to the plate anytime we ask, and we are trying to get our kids college, career, and civically ready. And part of that civic readiness is helping our community. And East Cooper is just so supportive, and we step up to the plate anytime we need. Our faculty, staff, we're all a part of it.
Okay, all righty, Dean and Darren, that's it from down here on the field. I'll send things back up to you guys.
Thanks, Megan. After the timeout, Summerville on 3rd down connects for a 1st down. And they are down to the 47-yard line of the Warriors. First grab of the day for the senior Perry Wilder III. He is replacing Andre Banks at the receiver spot. Took his number as well. Banks, who if you take out A.J. Green,
Yeah.
Banks has all the receiving records. If you leave in A.J. Green, A.J. has all the records for Summerville.
Yeah. You can't take him out. But a nice throw by Shirey. Throw before that, he hesitated a little bit, left his wide receiver wide open for some punishment. Now they're going to punish him back up the middle.
They tried, but Trayvon Green isn't letting Larry out of his grasp. They're going to give him forward progress of 3 yards to the 44.
I got to wonder, Joe Call being the quarterback, the coach that he is, he sees a young quarterback like that, he brings it over to the sidelines, and he just says, let it rip, right? Just let it rip, right? Don't think it. And that's kind of what he's almost, looks like he's overthinking a little bit too much. He just doesn't let him, just throw it.
He's only a sophomore, so it's not as though he has seen everything that can be thrown at him quite yet. First time they've gone option. Larry is met as the ball gets to him by who else than Colby McQueen again.
Shirey does a nice job here, reads it. McQueen does it just a little bit better. Really nice job, sets up a 3rd and long.
And Call really likes Shirey. He said he's one of those guys who is desperate to learn. He's always in there, not just studying film, but asking questions, as much of a sponge as he can be. Connected on the last 3rd down try. Here we go again. After the low
There you
snap, got Hopkins for the first down.
Right.
And he'll tumble down to the 29.
Those last two throws really good. I mean, literally saw Brody come across the middle and watch him just let it rip. Just let it rip. Throws it between 3 maroon jerseys.
It's like a pitcher. You know, if you're standing on the mound, you're aiming the ball. It's just not going to look right. It's not going to go where you want it to go. If you forget about it,
right.
I know how to throw the football. I'm a quarterback. Right up the middle. Oof. Larry gashes him and then punishes him. Knocked over Pickren to pick up the first down to the 19.
He decides to give back a little bit of what Will gave to his teammate early on when he hit Brody Hopkins.
Summerville's going with a little bit more tempo now. It's deeper than they've penetrated all game. 5 minutes to go in the half. And we got a timeout for the Warriors.
And I think a good timeout, right?
First one of the half. First time they've been hit with a couple of big plays on one drive.
And the thing I liked about that run by Larry, it was almost just a split second of a wait to let his offensive line open up that hole a little bit and then just exploded through it. And then all of a sudden your free safety's like, this is my guy, right? Got to put my head in here.
Our girls, Megan Rivers, she's down on the sidelines for our David Ayler Law Office's Educator Spotlight.
That's right. I'm joined now with Principal Eppelsheimer from Wando High School. You guys have had such an amazing start to your school year already. What's going on at Wando this year?
Well, we have right at 4,000 students, as everybody knows, but I have a wonderful staff, I have a wonderful administrative team, and I have the greatest teachers in the world. We're off to a great start. We offer over 250 courses, and kids have opportunities to do whatever they want to do here at Wando. So it's we all work together as a team. So that makes it work.
And the game is off to a good start, so I know you're proud of your football team as well.
Absolutely. Couldn't be more proud.
Okay. And so, like you said, you have 4,000 students, dozens and dozens of programs and courses. How exciting of a time is it to be a student at Wando High School?
Oh my gosh, every time I walk into classrooms, we have excellence in athletics, the arts, and academics. So when I walk into a classroom, a Project Lead the Way classroom, or if I walk into an art classroom, we have black and white photography. I look around and I go, oh my gosh, I want to be a student again. And people who come to visit us, we get visitors from around the state, from around the nation, and they come in and they go, oh my gosh, I really want to go back to high school just because of everything we have to offer here. It's a great opportunity for all kids, and we hope that by the time the kids graduate from high school, they'll either know exactly what they want to do by choosing a career pathway or exactly what they don't want to do and save their parents a lot of money with kids changing majors.
Okay, I hear that. All right, so any upcoming programs that we need to know about happening here at Wando?
There's always something going on in the arts. There's always something going on with athletics. There's always something going on in academics. I mean, look at the website and try to keep up with us. There's something going on literally every night of the week.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, I'll let you get back to cheering your team on. Again, congratulations on being the school to collect the most ever peanut butter and jelly. Dean Darren, that's the latest from down here on the field. I'll send things back up to you guys.
Yeah, Megan Eppelsheimer has to start watching because when she's watching, it goes better for the Warriors.
They said you got to start watching. When you watch, it goes better.
Tied at 7 now, 4.5 to go. A lot of Darian Larry on that drive, including the final run of the drive.
Just took it right up the middle, gashed him for about 35 total yards. That offensive line set them a nice wall on the inside. You get 205, 210 with a head of steam. Hard to slow down.
Unofficially, I've got that for a 65-yard drive. It was about 9 plays, I think. And certainly ended with the Larry touchdown. Couple of big third down conversions on the drive. And you could see the maturation of Shirey right before your eyes during that drive.
Yeah, he hit Hopkins for a first down on that 3rd and 8. Picked up about 15. A really crisp pass. Now we'll get to see if Summerville's kickoff return team, first time they kicked it off, Glover returned it for about 94 yards down to the 2-3 yard line.
It'll be Braden Gregory to kick it off again. Summerville's had their fair share of very good kickers as well. And this is certainly another one of them. Coming up tonight, check out Scott Eisberg, Greg Brzezowski. Complete wrap-up of the best local high school football games across the Low Country. Eisberg's Friday Night Rivals on ABC News 4.
I never see him cross his arms in real life. Only right here.
Eisberg?
Yeah, he's not an arm crosser. He holds his arms out. He's a big hugger.
He is a big hugger. Maybe he just wasn't comfortable having the picture taken of him. Glover isn't taking this one back all the way to the 10. He is done at the 25.
Have you heard this name Nick Chambers before?
I have.
Yeah, he was the guy that made the tackle on that play. He'll start things right in front of the 25.
Yeah, 40 in white and 45 in maroon have been the two linebackers sticking their heads in most plays. First one down the field coming right at you here.
See how they attack. Go back to Singleton. He's been the most effective weapon so far offensively for this team.
Pressure comes off the edge. It's Singleton who leaks out, but that pass was a bit behind him.
Yeah. The way Pritchard reacted after he threw the ball, knew that he left him a difficult catch.
It's the first time tonight that Summerville's defense has gotten a decent rest. So the drive gets them in the end zone.
Yeah.
Now they've got points on the board. It's a tie game. They're refreshed. I would expect to see some pressure coming from the Green Wave on this possession for the Warriors.
A lot of credit to Wando, too, this first game. Not a lot of mistakes. I don't know if they've had a penalty, maybe one.
I agree. I don't think they've had one. There's McCarthy. That's a first down. Spot him out at the 43-yard line. 18 yards there to McCarthy. Gotta like what you see out of Pritchard, don't you?
Yes. McCarthy's brother, really effective wide receiver here a couple of years ago, went up to Coastal Carolina. McCarthy now a senior, one of the top pole vaulters in the country for his age bracket.
That's one of those sports that I never try. Singleton here on the delay. What a spin by Singleton. Bursting for a first down. Plenty more. Singleton dragging to Green Wave down close to the 20. How about you, Jaden Singleton?
Give me the controller. Now hit X. Hit X. You get the spin, and then you get the burst of speed. And you get a nice little forearm and a stiff arm right in the face mask. I love it right here. Did I say give it to Singleton, your most effective player so far, right?
That's a move that should be shown on every highlight show around the Low Country tonight.
Just get rid of it. Get rid of it.
He's going to throw it into the end zone for a try, and it's caught.
How about that?
My goodness. First catch of the night for Jose Hill. And the Warriors reclaim the lead.
That was a slow developing play. You see Pritchard coming on the side, waiting, and then just throws it up. And the DB on that play, Marcus Morrison, almost loses his feet a little bit as he tries to find the location of that ball. But I'll tell you what. Four plays?
Yeah, 75 yards and 4 plays and an extra point that just squeaks through. 2 touchdown passes tonight for the first-time starter, Braden Pritchard. And Wando is putting a bit of a shock into the opposing sideline here with a touchdown lead, 3.5 to go in the half.
Well, here you see him rolling out, which again, you're rolling right and you're a lefty passer. That's why I was like, I thought he was in trouble. Don't take the sack, throw it away, but he's like, no, I think I'll try for the 7 first.
That looked like it was good on Sundays. I think Hill got 2 feet down.
Yeah.
We go down to Megan Rivers.
Alrighty, you guys, it's exciting down here on the fields. I'm joined now with Dr. Keith Santiago with Low Country Orthopedics. How are you doing tonight?
Fantastic. How are you?
Doing Doing good. So tell me about the black and blue clinics that you offer athletes during the fall athletic season.
So the Black and Blue Clinics are an orthopedic clinic that we offer on Friday and Saturday mornings on Clemens Ferry on Denny Island. We invite all athletes from all sports and weekend warriors to come in, either walk in or schedule appointments to see an orthopedic specialist like myself to be seen and evaluated. We have x-ray, we have splinting, we have injections, we have MRI, we have durable medical equipment, and that way you can have a diagnosis made and treatment initiated so you can get back into your activity as soon as possible.
Okay, all right, we see lots of injuries throughout, fall athletic seasons. What kind of hand injuries are most common, and then what can athletes do to prevent those?
So most common injuries I see are hand and wrist fractures, along with finger sprains and dislocations. Some injuries are not preventable, but things that can be done include things like making sure you warm up and have appropriate cool down after activities. Also make sure you stretch and maintain a conditioning program, along with being hydrated and maintain proper nutrition so that you don't develop cramps or have other health issues. And most importantly, just wear protective equipment appropriately to prevent injuries.
All righty, that hydration thing is really important. All right, Dean and Darren, it's heating up down here on the field. I'll go ahead and send things back up to you guys.
Low Country Orthopedics, also a proud sponsor of our first downs throughout the year. Low Country Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. And the latest first down will come for the Green Wave here with 3:16 to go, just one timeout in the opening half. And in great field position after that KJ Rollins return.
If you're going to break this down as a fight, I think, the first few rounds, it was kind of just feel each other out, and then all of a sudden, it seems like things have picked up a little bit. A couple of quick scores, and a nice return here, and see how Summerville answers.
Larry late getting on the field.
5 seconds on the clock.
And only one timeout to use. So they won't use it here. They'll come with the reverse to Wilder. Wando's got it snuffed out. Wilder makes one move and picks up some positive yards because of it.
Really nice play by Matt Gresham. Gresham was the one that kind of stopped the forward motion here. Comes from the outside. And that's Will Pickering cleaning up the mess. Will 6'1", 164 has got no problem lowering his shoulder. That was a long 1 yard run.
Ran about 30 sideways. Wando bringing pressure up the middle. That's where the run goes, and it is going nowhere. KJ Rollins meets a pair of Wando defenders. It was led by McQueen. Hampton Walker was in there as well.
Take a look at the replay. Watch the Wando defense linebacker step into the hole. Really nice play by 36. I think that was or Blake Bynum maybe that stepped into the hole that forced him to the outside. Hampton Walker was there to finish it up.
Summerville has the clear size and physicality advantage, but Wando isn't letting that deter them. They're just as physical tonight as the Green Wave have been.
Top of the screen is Hopkins.
Shirey just goes down. Couldn't pick that one up as he saw the defense crashing in at him.
Not been the first time that there's been some issues with the snap and the catch.
Second possession in this opening half that Summerville has gone backwards before punting. Wando has a couple of timeouts remaining and just went 75 yards in 4 plays. So plenty of time here for the Warriors as Hopkins waits on another. This one is end over end, tough to field, but Pickering does just that. Slips one, now 2, and he is down after going backwards. Lost a couple of yards. And now a flag.
Pickering's hurt.
A flag comes in very late.
Let's keep an eye on what happened here. He was taking off his helmet like something had happened. If he hit his head hard on the ground. Yep. See the right head, and then somebody kind of comes in. I don't know if it was worth a flag, but I'll tell you what. Looked like he slammed his head on the turf pretty good.
On the play. If the unsportsmanlike was that the running into Pickren while he's trying to get up, that's a tough break for the Green Wave, putting the Warriors 55 yards away, still with 1:38. Two timeouts, 55 yards to go. Pritchard's thrown for a couple of scores. And he throws here on first down, but right down to the feet of Glover.
So they get a little break there, picking up an extra 15 to start at 45.
Jimmy Noonan said today to both of us, look, if we can keep Pritchard up, if we've got some time, we can throw it. We can pitch it around. And he's been right.
Well, the concern that I had coming in offensively, we wait for the second down play.
Deep drop, setting up a screen. Singleton brings it in traffic and gets out of bounds after a pickup of 5.
You look at the Wando's offensive line, 6'4", 186, and then you go 238, 250, 224, and 232. Not a huge offensive line as it pertains to weight. And that was my concern, whether Summerville would be able to get a good rush. But I think that offensive line's done a great job tonight protecting him. Seen the pocket collapse one time. But I think more than anything else, it's just taking time for Pritchard just to get comfortable back. Have the confidence to step into the throw.
And mix it up a little bit. They've given the ball to Singleton out of the backfield, just enough to keep that defense guessing. Here they'll fake it to Singleton. Over the middle with 2 men there. It ends up in the hands of the Green Wave. McCarthy may have been the intended target. Eventually it is intercepted by Rowan Shawver.
McCarthy had it in his hands and then he got hit in the midsection. That hit literally separated ball from hands. They did a nice job of catching it up top. Looked like he never really had possession of it.
Something was off. 2 receivers were running basically the same route at the same spot. So it brought the extra defender over for the loose ball play, I guess, for that ball to pop up there.
After Wando's defense forces the 3 and out. Summerville's defense comes up and makes a play.
Here's Rollins now, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, pushes forward, probably has a couple of yards. First hit came from Terrell Miller, just a sophomore, standing 170 pounds, number 39.
Interesting to see how Joe Call manipulated that call a little bit. In the previous series, they tried to run the middle and they got nowhere. So this time they're going to maybe try to push the edge a little bit, thinking Wando's going to cram those linebackers in tight.
Green Wave does have a timeout. They also get the ball to begin the half. No flag comes in with that contact for the block. And out of bounds, maybe after a pickup of a yard for third down coming up.
You see him come to the outside. See if I don't know. Was it a block in the back?
There was very little contact.
I think he did a nice job of pulling off of it.
Yes. I'm fine with the no call.
Not the 7 people sitting around us.
That's what happens when you're in the home team's press box sometimes. I think Jimmy Noonan agrees with the 7 people around us.
3rd and 6, but they make him go 3 and out again. I think Joe called a timeout.
I think they're resetting the play clock. So 2 runs with just over a minute to go have taken the clock down to 36 seconds left here. With a timeout in their back pocket. I think Call is playing this somewhat cautious. Use the timeout if you can break a big play. Otherwise, all right, you get the ball to start the second half and let's regroup.
Alex Tallarico at the top of the screen on Hopkins. They could double him up there if they want to, but he's got him open down the sidelines.
Wando dropped 8, and Hopkins found a hole. Hopkins breaks free, and then he's run out of bounds. Inside the 25, they'll mark him right at the 25.
If I'm going to double anybody on this field, I'm going to double them all day. You had a defender there who pushed to the middle, number 5, and then Tallarico let him get on the outside. Bumgarner late, or Pickering late coming over.
Nice ball there from Shirey. And now the Green Wave have options. Out of bounds, stops the clock. You're within range, and you got your timeout here.
Wando's going to take. Does Wando take a timeout here?
Or does Pickering have blood? So it's an official's timeout. They want Pickering off the field. That is a tough break for the Warriors.
It's one of the nicer balls that he's thrown right over the top of the defense. A good little battle between him and Pickering is from the get-go here.
Wando uses a timeout. Here's why, to get Pickering back on the field.
Yep. I used to like it back in the day where you could bleed a little and keep playing football.
Lose your helmet, put it back on.
Keep playing football.
Not have to miss a play for something that can use a Band-Aid.
I don't. Looks like they're still running Pickering off.
Well, with the timeout used, he should be allowed to come back out and be a part of this play.
Or so you thought.
Yes.
South Carolina High
This
School
is
League would
true.
like to tell you otherwise.
It does not look like he will be a part of this play.
No. But if I am defending this play, so Summerville's got what, one timeout left?
Each have one, yes.
I'm gonna have to throw the ball. I'm gonna try to get the ball to Brody on the sidelines. And I think I want to run the ball one time here.
I'm with you. You got Rollins back there, your speed guy, your breakaway guy.
Yeah, Will Bumgarner's on Hopkins, pressing him tight at the line. See if he backs off of it, because if he's going to go tight, I'm going to go throw deep here. Never looks that way.
At Hopkins, comes back the other way, and it's jarred free.
As Will Parrott.
And Perry Wilder was the receiver.
No, he's like, I don't need help. There you go. I like the play, but I'm looking right. Right?
What we saw that Shirey did not, Hopkins beat Bumgarner off the line. And he never looked to the top of your screen.
Now he's got Bumgarner on him again, but he's got Pickering on that side of the field. Shirey's still looking left. He's going to
find his way out of traffic.
You got to throw the ball, young man.
Yeah, because now you're going to be forced to use a timeout here after losing 6 yards.
That there, that's just a sophomore mistake. That's all that is, right? You just got to throw the ball. I like how he steps up.
Two drives ago, Shirey seemed to come into his own a little bit. Hit on a couple of big third down conversions. It eventually led to a rushing touchdown on the longest drive of the first half for the Green Wave. But it's a sophomore. He's been behind Jonathan Bennett, who's been the starter for 3 years.
Yep, this is what happens when you're 16 years old.
Joe Call said he is an old sophomore. So he could be about the age of some juniors, but I don't think it makes up for the experience level that you're getting as you progress through.
All about experience, man.
So no timeouts now for Summerville, only 6 seconds left. You don't have time to run a play and clock it. You also don't have downs to run a play and clock it.
Right.
So take a shot at the end zone.
I would roll him out of the pocket to his right side and let him set up and throw it down to the far corner of the end zone. Hopkins is 6'3". There's nobody on the Wando's side of the field that measures that. Pickering's 6'1", but he's on the opposite side. Matt Gresham's 5'9". And as we saw in the last couple of plays, Brody was able to beat Bumgarner off the line, beat him to the inside.
Play clock still hasn't started yet. So a lot of confusion for Summerville to get set. Still more confusion here.
Clock's still not moving.
Summerville will have a chance to.
Jimmy Noonan would like to talk to you guys.
Jimmy Noonan is most likely looking at the play clock and looking up here. And there is constant conversation now. Noonan looking up here, the coaches in the booth to our left, and many folks in the booth with us. Trying to figure out. So there we go. 8.5 on the game clock is what is holding us up here.
Well, Coach Noonan was arguing for a plus 2.5. I would have been begging, let's go, run the clock, let's get going.
It doesn't change the scenario much. It's third down, so you can't run two plays. You got to take a shot with no timeouts.
Yeah, Wilder and Hopkins on the right. Your blocking back is to the left. You got Nix in motion.
Shirey. It's caught and spun out of bounds inside the 5 with a flag. Is that?
No, but there was. What a throw. You talk about stepping up. I said get out of the pocket, let him step into a throw. That's Wilder, gets out of bounds.
And now the 2.5 seconds, it certainly did make a difference.
I think he was.
I think there should actually be more time on the clock.
I do too. And they're going to go for it. They're not going to kick a field goal here. They want points from the 3.
And Wando doesn't want to give it to him that easily. Wando takes its final timeout.
I'll tell you who I'm thinking about right now. Our good friend Coach McKissick is at home watching this game. I know he's watching this game because Joe said he was going to watch the game. So we send our best to Coach McKissick. And I'm wondering what he would do right here. Does he kick the field goal? Or does he go for 7? You know he's never going to question his grandson, right?
Would he?
Yes, he would.
I would think he would.
He would indeed.
I would think questions could go each way in that conversation.
His awesome wife, Joan. That's what I would do. I would turn to Joan. Say, Miss McKissick, what do you do here?
Well, she's seen enough of this to probably have a good idea what her husband would do.
They don't make him much sweeter, and her response would be, whatever John says is the right way to go.
Or whatever Joe says. John's grandson has the final call. Hunter Spivey is the offensive coordinator. And they're going to go for it here. Remember, they get the ball to begin the second half as well. They got their big back, Darian Larry, back there.
Are you just going straight ahead here?
Watch out for Shirey, too. It's Larry, and he fumbles it. Is he across the goal line first?
That's
he is.
Oh,
touchdown
this is going to be an
signals.
Awesome replay.
I think it's the right call. Watching it
I
real
couldn't tell
time,
from up
I'm
here.
looking forward to this.
Let's see. Probably.
I think so.
Probably, but I'm not quite sure why he's releasing his second hand here.
Ooh.
You like that angle better?
So what we need our crew to do now is expand our 4-camera coverage to about 40.
Yeah.
And put one in the pylon. And if you could do that now and get a replay going, that'd be perfect. But I think that might have to wait till the second half.
We'll slow that down. We'll slow that down.
Very close here.
Try to pick up where the goal line is. He reaches out.
From that, the other angle shows where he starts to lose the handle a little bit better.
It's William Brown, number 51, that gets his hand in. So look at Brown's left foot is on the goal line.
And Larry's foot is not. It'd be impossible to overturn that call. I think they got it right. Nonetheless, heck of a first half here. Tied at 14 as we go to the half. First, we check in with Megan Rivers.
Alrighty, Coach. Exciting first half, all tied up at the halftime. What are you going to tell your guys heading into the locker room?
Well, we're leaving plays all over the field, and part of it's being a little bit of youth, and then part of it's just maybe first game jitters. They've already had a game under their belt, so they probably got that out of their system. But overall, I think we're playing very well. Defensively, we're making some aggressive mistakes in the secondary and allow them to get extra yardage after the catch. And that score right there is pretty disappointing because at the other end, we maybe should be putting up more points for us, and we're not. And now it's tied up at half, but we got to regroup and move forward. You mentioned youth. How are you feeling about your new QB? Well, he's jittery. He's amped up, and some of the balls are sailing on him, and he needs to pull the string a little bit and a little bit more touch on some of the balls. But overall, he's very, very effective, and he's running the offense quite well. All right, Coach, I'll let you get to him. Good to see you. All right, Dean and Darren, that's the latest from the field. I'm going to get out of the way because they're about to perform. I'll send things back up to you guys.
The nationally recognized Wando bands. Coming up to the Roper St. Francis halftime show. Stick with us. 14-all. Welcome into the Roper St. Francis halftime show. We understand that your health and that of those you love matter most. At Roper St. Francis, experience matters. We've been talking about experience as it pertains to football throughout the first half. Summerville with the game under their belts, but a sophomore quarterback scores on the final play of the first half to tie up Wando at 14 apiece. This is your David Ayler Law Offices and Riders Law Group. It's your Scholar Athlete of the Week, Cameron Fox, with that nearly 5.3 GPA for Summerville. She's also Miss Greenway Teen. And Will Bumgarner, we've seen him playing in the secondary here for Wando. One of the great things he did, help organize a fundraiser for a paralyzed middle school student, Sydney Fowler, among the many things that Will Bumgarner does well. That's brought to you by David Eller Law Offices and Riders Law Groups. Proud to highlight scholar athletes from each participating school. The students selected have an opportunity to win a $5,000 scholarship at the end of the season. Let's check in with Megan.
All right, I'm down here with Margaret now. Good to see you this Friday.
Good to see you as well. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So why do you guys keep getting involved every year? You're so involved in high school athletics. Tell me what brings you back every year?
Yeah, our office loves to support education and our students here in the Low Country. And every year after we choose a winner for this scholarship, it's just so rewarding to then follow their accomplishments throughout college and know that we are able to contribute to that.
And you guys are involved in the community in other ways. Tell me how, and what other ways are you guys involved?
Yeah, we've been very involved this back to school season with school drives, whether it's donating or volunteering our time. We recently volunteered with Halos of Charleston and helped to pack backpacks with school supplies and then distribute that to families in need. So we try to do as much as we can in the community.
All right, Dean and Darren, that's the latest from the field. I'll go ahead and send things back up to you guys so we can check out this performance from Wando High School.
A band that regularly competes around the state and then nationally as well. Outstanding band here at Wando. More coming up on our Roper St. Francis halftime show. Welcome back into our Roper St. Francis halftime show. Understanding that your health and those you love matter most at Roper St. Francis. Experience matters. You know who's got experience? RKO Total Graphics in downtown Charleston. They've got experience making the best graphics and, in this case, trophies that get distributed on Stars and Stripes Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. That trophy right there, that one is going to go to either Wando or Summerville after they figure out this tie in the next 24 minutes of action. The halftime feature that is most well received by us in the booth.
Let's rock and roll.
Even though we're rarely featured in it.
Maybe this is the week.
Maybe.
How great are these moments?
Johnstown,
the
Yins
swing pass.
And a Pittsburgh Yins rumbling.
Nah.
No?
I'd give it a 6.
Oh, Pensacola.
There we go.
Beautiful down there. He's just going to take it, isn't he?
Oh. That's the RKO.
I like this.
See, there we go.
I'll take that any day.
Very proud of himself, herself. Back to Salt Lake City.
Same game, I believe.
Mobile.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Now Mobile.
Oh.
All right,
that's
jumped
a big
the route.
6, yeah. See, I can respect that for about an 8.5.
It's a good play.
Give me a front flip. Nope. stays at 8.5.
Is it better than Jenkins hopping the fence last week for Fort Dorchester?
Conway, North Myrtle Beach.
Ooh, that's a heck of a grab.
That's a speed right there.
I bet you he's playing in college one day.
We'll have to look up. We'll find the roster on him. Number 7 from Conway.
Yeah.
That's a nice little play.
Now where are we going?
Spain
Birmingham.
Park, Hillcrest. In the pocket. Let's scramble.
Oh.
The X button. The controller.
This is the singleton
no.
for Hillcrest.
No.
Oh, wow.
Oh, see. That's a 10. What is that on the controller?
That's
Is it a Y, an X?
At the circle, right? The circle's going to throw it?
Yeah, I like this one, though. As he's falling out of bounds.
I mean, this is an early candidate for play of the year here.
Yeah, out of bounds. On the money.
I like it. All
Good
right.
times.
Corporate gets credit for one really good play. And a strike for, again, not putting us in. Let's go.
You know what?
Yes.
If Corporate's listening, the big hit, the Pickering hit on Hopkins,
yes,
that's got to be part of the package.
Or the
next
Jaden
week.
Singleton run when he spun away.
Yeah, that was a good one, too.
Yes. We got you, Corporate. Roper St. Francis halftime continues.
With assistance from Michael Gray, Tim Cole, Sarah Price, Dr. Justin Clarkson, Dr. Michael Haldeman, Daniel Inholz, John Houston, Clark Hoffman, Tyler LeDuc, Miranda Sanchez, Will Frankenberger, Mariana Murray, Catherine Vaughn, Chris Almenez, Vince Talbert, and Alex Ross. The band is under the field direction of senior drum major Hannah Johnston, Caroline Haig, Kevin Hewitt, and Audrey Wessinger. The bands of Wando would like to thank and recognize all of its Army business sponsors. Tonight we'd like to bring special recognition to the Director Plus sponsors. Chick-fil-A North in Mount Pleasant, Cruise Subaru, East Cooper Medical Center, Pizza Hut, Raising Cane's, Taco Bell, Southeastern Spine Institute, and United Community Bank. And our director level sponsors, Dog Green and Sticky Fingers. Please help us thank each of these great businesses for their support within our community and for supporting our bands of Wando.
It's the Roper St. Francis halftime show continuing here from Wando. Understand that your health and those you love matter most at Roper St. Francis. Experience matters. Who's a rock star? Except for Dean. The Rockstar Cheer of the Night. Check out abcnews4.com/poll, and you can vote on this cheer, and we will give you results and a reminder in the second half.
We're black and white. We're the W, we're the X, we're the S. We're WHS. We're WHS. We're the home of the black and the white. We're black and white. We're black and white. We're WHS. We're black and white. We're WHS. We're black and white. We're the W, we're the H, we're the S. We're the home of the black and the white.
The Rockstar Cheer of the Night If you liked Wando's, vote for Wando. If you like Summerville's, vote for them. Another reminder, I tell you every week, the home team almost always wins.
Oh, yeah.
So get to vote in Summerville and Wando by logging on to abcnews4.com/poll. The Rockstar Cheer of the Night will remind you next half and give you the results as well. Speaking of next half.
You know what? Back in the good old days of the concrete stadium that was Wando Stadium. It was all concrete, right?
Like the abs are concrete?
Those abs are concrete. That was the chop house, right? That was the chop house.
Okay.
Right? This is the nice $16.2 million chop house. I'm just saying.
Maybe better steak then.
I don't know, but I was incredibly impressed with the crowd tonight on the Wando side.
Absolutely. Let's see if they can will him to victory. Second half coming up.
Stand by. All right, Coach, we're down here getting ready to start the second half of the game. You guys tied it up going into halftime. What was the message to your guys in the locker room?
Just control their emotion. You know, it's been a very emotional game right from the opening kickoff. Defense got our backs to the wall, and trying to get down there and push the ball in right there with less than a second. So it was kind of an emotional into the first half. So just kind of control your emotions. Play with passion, but play under control as well. So they're trying to get them ready to refocus and come out. And we got it back to 0-0. Somehow we found a way to get it back tied. So it's kind of a new game. Got to go play the second half.
All right, this is your second game of the season. How do you think you guys are playing so far this season?
Yeah, we're still young. We're still learning how to play a full game. So you kind of get your emotions going, to get your heart rate going, and you kind of get yourself exhausted. So we're kind of learning how to play in 4 quarters.
All right, Coach, I'll let you get to it.
All right, thank you.
All righty, Dean, Darren, that's the latest from down here at the field. It's getting tense. You can feel the second half about to heat up. I'll send things back up to you guys.
Great job, Megan. See if Joe Call and his crew can get to 2-0 on a year following their region championship. See if Wando can start their year with a victory. Warriors and Waves, second half coming your way. But he got back on the field very quickly after that shot. We'll take you up here now to the start of the third quarter.
I think when Joe said it was an emotional game, and I think that's the point of it, right? That was the wake-up call for both sides. That's when Wando said, hey, we can play in this football game. And I think Summerville, it was just a glancing blow early on. I think they struggled to kind of get their feet up underneath them. I think it took Brody a few series to, I'm not going to say clear his head, but maybe clear his head a little bit. Had a productive second quarter, big catch to lead to that touchdown. So we'll see how the second half plays out. And I'll tell you this, if you go back and look at the notes, and I said this at the top of the show, Wando last year lost 3 games by 9 points or less, right? That goes from a 4-7 to a 7-4 season. And this has been a really close rivalry with Summerville. Summerville won the last 2 meetings. Wando won the 3 before that. And then it was back and forth for the last 2. So Wando's got the edge 4-3 in the last 7. Those games haven't been particularly close. This one has. That is a huge, huge opening game for Wando.
And a big opening possession of this second half in the season opener for the Warriors. This is Perry Wilder. And Wilder with a nice burst of speed for good field position for the Green Wave at the 45.
I just noticed it right there, too. I mean, that turf is awesome, right? It wouldn't make you and I any faster, but I swear, like, just watching Wilder run right there, it looked like he was on skates, didn't it?
They do say the turf can make you a little bit faster. It goes for us who run, 6'8" 40s.
You think?
Yeah, I mean, I could get to a 6'6".
Do you think?
No.
Honestly, what would you run?
I think a 6'8" is probably in the range.
All right, I'm going to write that down real quick.
That's why I didn't play college baseball.
Yeah.
They told me to get the piano off my back. Nice moves there in a swarm of Warrior defenders. He was able to make himself small and pick up some positive yards.
I like how he's going to open up the throwing game, but again, a lot of props to the young man, just a sophomore, but like on that throw, just looked like a second slow, right? He had the guy turn, find, and throw it. Give the defense too much time to react.
Shirey up the middle. Rollins breaks free. Now Rollins can stretch it to the outside, slips off a tackle and has the first down. It's Will Pickren who chases him down after a run of about 8.
Got to make that first stop in the backfield. Right there. Colin Bryant lets him get away. Give Pickren props for running all the way across the field to force him out of bounds.
Summerville only pushed deep into Wando territory on a drive once in the opening half. And here they go again inside the 40 now with that run from KJ Rollins, who has begun to get more of the carries than Darian Larry, even though Larry does have the touchdown run that tied the game with a 1/10 of a second left in the opening half. Rollins, only a junior. Call said you can bet on it. He'll play somewhere on Saturdays. He's 5'9", 165. Can probably put on a little bit of weight. They'll fake it to him and get it to Wilder on the edge. A burst of speed for the first down. Got him around Colin Bryant and inside the 30.
Bryant just simply took the wrong angle. Wilder got a pretty good burst of speed there. You also play that one without Pickren on the field. With back-to-back first downs. Taking that momentum late in the second quarter, right into the third quarter.
Driving towards the same end zone. Sophomore Shirey gives it to the junior Rollins this time. And it was Green, 92, who got a piece of the ankle.
Been really active, had a good game inside for Wando's defense, number 92.
You see 72 in there. That's a huge part of any 3-4 defense. You got to have size at the nose. Ray Rivera is a 345-pound senior who takes up the middle of that defensive line.
and they put him in. That's when they really kind of jammed up that middle. Larry was doing a nice job early on.
Shirey trying to get away. He gets past Matt Gresham, but only briefly. Maybe he's strung out to the line.
That defense on the right side of Wando did a nice job that way, defending both the runner, the running back, and the quarterback. Really didn't have a play to go. If he hands the ball off, it's an immediate loss. He tries to stretch it to the left side, picks up just a yard or two.
Shirey changing the play. 2 seconds on the play clock.
Brody down the side. Nice
and he
play.
got it. That's Hopkins, what you saw.
Tell you why it was a nice play. If he was going to keep streaking down the field, you had Pickering coming over the top that was either going to break up the play or make an interception. But it's that back shoulder throw. Really well done and moved the chains.
I wonder what Bumgarner was asking about. He was already with his hands out before the ball got to Hopkins.
I think he felt like he was pushed off maybe.
Shirey keeps it and is blasted by Terrell Miller from behind.
They've not been successful with that option play. They found more success just handing it straight off to Larry on that inside play. If you're going to run inside, give me 210 and not 160, right?
Seems like Larry is the option if you want to pound it there. Shirey to the end zone and picked off. Miller got a hand on it. Bumgarner secures the interception, and they pick off Shirey in the end zone.
That play made by Terrell Miller. Did a great job getting a hand on it. And Wando's defense, when it has to, after Summerville had moved the chains. Shirey just looks left the entire way. Miller plays the ball. And Bumgarner finishes it off.
So whatever he was complaining about before that Hopkins catch, he got him back with the pick. And that thwarts a long drive here from Summerville to begin this second half. They go to Singleton on the opening play from scrimmage, and he spins twice and picks up 6 yards.
Yeah, he's got constant motion right in his legs. Just moving really, really well.
We're going to check in with a familiar face from a different network and now no network at all. Megan Rivers is down with Andy Pruitt.
Hey, you guys. I guess there's like a height minimum to be a part of this interview. I don't make it. So I'm with Andy Pruitt, Trooper Bob. Good to see you, Andy. How you doing today?
Oh, Megan, it's great. Just excited to have you guys out here to the District 2 Stadium. It's a beautiful game, beautiful arena, great contest as well. So just glad to be a part of all this.
All right, so we have a whole new partnership going on with Charleston County School District and Trooper Bob, my main man, Trooper Bob, out there on the roadways with you every single morning. We're doing some safety checkpoints with Trooper Bob. What's that like for the district?
It's a big deal. We're excited to have someone of this guy's caliber in our schools. He's made a name for himself and a respected name, and that's the cool thing. And I think as our kids get to know him and what he's about, that's going to add a different dynamic for our students. But it's about safety. We always preach safety in schools because we are entrusted kids care 7 hours, 8 hours a day for 180 days out of the year. So we got to make sure that they're safe. And one of the things they can be safe on is getting to school or getting home from school, whether it's riding the bus or walking through the neighborhoods. And Bob's going to break all that down for them in an easy to understand way that hopefully they'll remember and their parents will remember as well.
Okay, so if kids want to get involved in this safety squad, what do they have to do?
They just got to be at our schools. Bob's worked with the leadership of our different elementary schools, and he'll be making appearances throughout this fall, starting next week.
Let's start next week. We're going into 45 schools and bringing that message to the students.
Okay, all right. So we're in a new stadium. This is the second year Wando has played in the stadium. You guys have other new facilities all around the district. Where are some of the other ones?
Right, for athletics. So this one came online last year in Lucy Beckham High School, which will come into operation next year. We'll start to have access for this District 2 Regional Stadium as well. Next year, we're also going to have the District 4 Regional Stadium, where Stahl and North Charleston and Military Magnet and Academic Magnet will have access if they want to play football and other sports there too. We're also redoing Stony Field, the field there for Burke High School, in our partnership with City of Charleston, upgrading athletics across the district. It's a great thing for everybody, especially for our student athletes.
All right, Andy, Bob, thank you guys so much. Dean, Darren, that's the latest from the field. I'll go ahead and send things back up to you guys.
Oh, Bob Barron's great job down there. 2nd down and 1 for Wando as we see the maturation before our eyes here of Braden Pritchard. You know, Jimmy Noonan said going off at the half that he may have been shaky at times in his first career start. He has looked good from up here. He has made very few wrong decisions and has made very many strong throws. Here's another, good for a 1st down.
Great job by making Glover on that block, springing him for another 10 yards.
And Hill moves the sticks for a 1st down. So Hill has 2 receptions tonight. One of them was a 22-yard touchdown in the back of the end zone. And now this one moves the chains inside the 30. This drive on the heels of the interception in the end zone from Bumgarner.
Had 1 run, and now they've gone to 4 passes in a row. Been crisp.
And they're getting it out of his hands quickly. Hill had a lot of padding on that near side, so it's an easy throw and catch. Marcus Morrison makes the stop.
At some point, that Summerville defense is going to have to come up and press the line. The touchdown pass to Bill earlier was more Pritchard getting out of the pocket, making something happen. Found an opening in the back of the end zone. They're playing almost 5-8 yards off the receivers.
Summerville can't get into Pritchard either. He's getting it out of his hands immediately. That's a dangerous throw, and it is caught. Jaden James is there for the hit, but that ball was floating out there a long time.
Well, he threw that almost from the far hash. He did throw it from the far hash. Took him a long time to get there. And a clean hit, a nice hit. It was 9-on-9. Major's going to come over, and trainer's going to take a look at him.
Back snapped pretty hard. Pritchard with 1 clap. Got to look at what Summerville may have been thinking. Chambers took a couple of hard steps up at linebacker. And then the play came in, and late. Did Wando get the timeout?
No flags down.
They did.
They did.
Timeout Wando on the move. 3:20 to go. Tie game, 3rd quarter. Stars and Strikes Friday Night Rivals. Driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Lucky for you watching this game, Friday Night Rivals driven by Crew Chevy, we're giving you a good game. Here are scores from other games around the Low Country on our MUSC Youth Collaborative leaderboard. A blowout in Myrtle Beach, a blowout at Cane Bay, a blowout for Berkeley, and West Ashley has the lead over James Island. One of the few times Summerville's defense has gotten pressure and made a stop behind the line of scrimmage.
Yep, absolutely. Nick Chambers stepping in. Got some help on the outside with Jacobs. They go from about a 2nd and 6 to 3rd and 12. Surprised he didn't pull the trigger on a throw right there. Keep an eye on 89, McCarthy. He's top left, Major's right behind him. He's got the ability to go up and get the ball.
Long 3rd down here, could be 4-play territory. And again, Pritchard, with the awareness of a veteran quarterback, slides up in the pocket, holds on to the ball, and makes something out of nothing.
He had Glover on the right side. Looked like he wanted to pull the trigger on the throw. Thought better of it, maybe settle for the 3 instead.
The holder here will be, let's see, Pickren. And it's going to be Roca to handle this field goal attempt of 33. Man, it is right on. And Wando reclaims the lead. The Warriors haven't trailed all night. Lead it by 3 with 2 minutes to play in the 3rd. Let's update you on that rock star cheer of the night. I'm not going to tell you who's in the lead right now, but I will tell you still have time to vote. Log on to abcnews4.com/poll. Vote for the Wando or the Summerville cheerleaders, and we will give you the results of your voting and our Rockstar Cheer of the night next quarter. 33-yard field goal right there. The first for Arthur Roca, only a sophomore.
I gotta be honest, sitting at this angle, it's hard to tell. I mean, I can't tell if it goes in from here. Can you?
So you watch the monitor at that point.
You do?
Oh, yes. I don't even watch it.
You're alive? You go back and forth from monitor to the game?
Absolutely.
The things I learn from you
Absolutely.
every Friday night.
I watch the monitors more than half of the time while I'm sitting here with a window open staring right at the field. You know, the monitor is far clearer than my eyes.
I'll tell you what else is far clearer. Summerville had a good return to start the second half. See what Rawlings does with it here.
They purposely kicked it short to try and limit the big return, and it works. Summerville out of bounds. Rollins is at the 27-yard line. One of their farther back starting field positions of the night.
The last drive scooted all the way inside of the 20. A great play by Wando defense results in an interception, ends up in 3 points.
We got an injured Summerville player. And we have an injured Wando player, both in your shot. This is Gresham here. Gresham, who is the long snapper for Wando and also plays in the secondary. This is a valuable guy. He's clearly having trouble walking off under his own power, but he's getting there. Meanwhile, on the Summerville side, there's an injury as well.
Oh, no.
It's Rollins.
It's Rollins,
28.
So looking at the left, looking like the...
They are looking at the lower leg.
I think it was the right ankle, maybe. He's on the bench, the far 40.
So Rollins not in, Shirey does, and he picks up about 8, loses his hat and the ball. He was down first, but Shirey needs to take this play off. They marked him at the 35.5, so he's about 2 yards short of the first down. And this is Ryan Traylor, the junior who will come in and take this one snap.
Giving the ball to Larry.
It's a pretty good bet right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he picks up the first down.
You think? It's left foot, right foot.
Antoine Nelson.
Red fish, blue fish. He goes right foot on the spot.
I just dropped off a whole bunch of, not Cat in the Hat books. Oh, give me the author. Why can't I think of it?
Who you got? Well, Cat in the Hat's not actually an author.
No, I got that part.
Who you got?
Anyway, the new Mount Pleasant Library up here, it's beautiful.
Awesome.
Just dropped off a whole bunch of books to return that were late. But they're there now.
But they're late. Why is that? It just
My
happens.
6-year-old didn't take them back. I gave her the keys to the car and everything.
Yeah.
And just never
You're not going to be that
didn't make
helicopter
it.
parent, are you?
No.
Going to make her learn her own lessons.
That's right.
Yeah.
You pay that fine.
A suspended library card.
Teach him young. Did he get the first down? You got to look that hard. You missed. And he's a couple inches short. Looked pretty clear, Dean, that Larry had that first down.
All right, something to keep an eye on. And just because I kept an eye on it, you've got Bumgarner getting a little sick on the field. It's the best way I can describe it.
Understood.
See if that affects anything here. With a full quarter left to go.
Malachi Anderson, 22, comes in at the corner spot at the top of your screen, giving, 8 yards of cushion.
McQueen slashing in the middle.
And he blew up the play, but Larry kept his feet churning, has the first down this time, and he's out across the 40.
Bumgarner's hurt. Or Pickren's hurt. It's a cramp.
This has been the type of game we've had. It's been a hard-hitting, physical game. There haven't been any extensive injuries. Anyone who's come off has been back, but it's been tight.
I'll tell you, it wasn't Bumgarner that was getting sick on the field. It was Pickering, right? And now you cramp.
And they're related.
And they're related.
Two clear signs of dehydration.
But I'm going to tell you right now, the 2-3-4 combination, right? The Glover, the Bumgarner, the Pickering, right? 142, 162, 164, they all play like they're 220.
Yep. So Pickering's on the sidelines. Remember, Gresham went out of the game as well. This is not a team that's very deep on the defensive side, and they are rolling with a few guys out here. Bumgarner is in. He is right over top at the bottom of your screen of Hopkins.
Now you got Max Pickering, 13, sophomore, at the bottom of your screen. But they're just going to keep jamming away.
Pounding them. A team that they can sense is a little bit tired. A 14-yard run there for Larry. A first down to Warrior territory.
Rivera's going to come out. They're going to maybe rotate some linemen in. Again, Edwards comes back in. You see that lead block right out in front. There was Matthew Dunn clearing the way. Running interference. So you got Brody on the inside in the slot. You got a sophomore covering him.
And here he goes, popping back for that pass, cutting it to the inside. There's a flag down at the line of scrimmage as Hopkins races for the pylon, and he's in. But let's check on this flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Perry Wilder is going to be called for a hold. And he's going to argue his case, and we'll be judge and jury.
Guilty.
Guilty. And the sad part about it is, didn't have to do it. Pickering had come up too far anyway, but didn't need to do it. And Gresham's going to come back in.
So a huge play taken off the board for Hopkins and the Green Wave. And it takes them back to their own 42. Here's another look.
You can't really see it on that angle. He got his hand inside, but you can see him pursue up the field a little too much. But also interesting how Joe Call saw that mismatch. Move Hopkins to that side of the field to take on the sophomore.
Yeah, we're not the only ones up here watching some of the Wando guys off and on in the secondary. It's a matchup game.
Yeah, this is the better angle. You'll see it right there, that left arm inside. He released, but not fast enough.
So what is about to be the final play of the third quarter is going to have to wait on this timeout from Summerville. Interesting spot for Joe Call to take that timeout. It's first down, granted in a mile.
Right.
With just 11 seconds left in this quarter, why not hang on to it in a 3-point game into the fourth quarter? Maybe it's just a matter of personnel figuring out who's on the field for both sides.
Could have let the clock go out, right?
Well, it was stopped after the penalty.
There you go.
All right, we told you that the home team normally wins the cheer of the night.
Stop it.
Yeah, they do. They normally do. Summerville came strong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nick Case down there. You said 92% of the vote. 93% now of the vote for Summerville's cheerleaders. Well done, Green Wave fans. You brought it. And that is one of the first times I can remember the visiting team winning our cheer of the night, our rock star cheer of the night to those rock stars in green and white.
This means a lot of Greenway fans are watching at home, because I'll tell you, and we'll take this shot because that's what our crew does. But it's an amazing crowd on the Wando side. This stadium holds about 6,000. I would say 4,000 are over on the Wando side tonight.
Probably played a role in some of Wando's success to this point. Shirey pulls it down, then fires low, and there's 6 seconds left in the third.
The only thing I don't like about that throw, other than it was short, is that he's coming all the way far hash again. And I'm not saying he doesn't have a rocket arm, but again, good work, JB. It's an impressive crowd, isn't it?
It is. Looks real good.
We're the
middle light.
Yeah, we're right into the light. You want to hang out?
Oh, you
I'll
can't
hold you
see
by
my
your
arm.
toes.
No thanks.
But again, I'd rather see that pass short south. That's true. Outdraws many of our college teams here.
Very true.
There's that back shoulder throw.
Yeah, but he
had it, and he slipped. You're right. Yep, we saw that work earlier in this quarter.
Nick's just slipped down.
But again, I like that throw on the short side of the field instead of trying to go all the way across it.
Now this timeout has a chance to totally backfire. You called it with 11 seconds left, 2 incompletions, and here you're looking at now third down. Got to get to the 36 of the Warriors.
How about this? How about a little throwback? Let Brody come drop 5 yards back, throw it back to him, and let Brody unleash it. It's not going to happen, but I love the play.
Shirey's going to try into traffic, tipped twice, and incomplete. McQueen got a hand on it. I believe Pickering did as well, and that's how the third quarter ends.
6 jerseys, all in maroon color there.
That's how the last drive ended for Summerville, except it was an interception in the end zone. Summerville will punt when we get you back to begin the fourth. Wando hasn't trailed all night and lead it by 3 on Stars and Strikes Friday Night Rivals, driven by Crew Chevrolet. Summerville was eager to get rid of that ball, punted very quickly. We apologize for missing it. And here's Wando coming out on the 26-yard line now after their defense got a huge break on a holding call from Wilder that erased a touchdown from Brody Hopkins. And after they moved backwards, they went 3 and out and gave it back to the Warriors.
Wando's defense stepping up when they've needed it. Helped by a penalty on the touchdown by Hopkins. They're going to go back to the air.
And it's open over the middle, but a touch behind Glover. A dangerous ball that floats up in space in the secondary. There's a flag on the field as well.
I'm going to say it's an obvious foul, even though we didn't see it, because more than one flag came flying. And the way Singleton's been running the football, you got a 3-point lead. I'm going to pound it a little bit right here, right?
It's a little bit harder to do it now at 1st and 15.
Right, that's right.
But I like the thought. And a lot of what Singleton has been doing has been a product of the play calls and his ability to make guys miss. His wiggles, as my old partner used to call him, Doug Chapman.
Yeah.
Here he is. Singleton is not going to get away from Chambers. He thought he kept his feet without the knee touching, but Chambers slung him down.
I think Chambers did a really nice job of not getting the horse collar. Got a little bit of the jersey on the backside. Played a nice game tonight.
Yes.
We'll get that. Do we have an ice bath sponsored possibly? The ice bath brought to you by?
Sales team's got to get on it. They're always looking for other things to sell.
Oh, see that? I know that. That's Sullivan Vanderveen.
Is
the
it?
backside? Yeah, can't miss the flow.
Okay, well the flow had a touchdown earlier today.
Yes, he did.
The first one of the game for the Warriors. 2nd and 16, deep drop for Pritchard. On the move, that's caught. Gabe Major gets the hands underneath on a ball that was just as nearly intercepted.
Ty McFadden makes a great play, number 25 for Summerville, and just comes up a little short. And that's a catch. And I'm going to tell you something else because they never get the love. Lachlan Hedrick, a great job left tackle there. Giving Pritchard the time to throw. Held his block up. Pritchard never stepped in a throw, completed.
Pressure up the middle. Pritchard gets away again. And will calmly work his way out of bounds with a 7.5, maybe 8-yard run.
Summerville looking for a block in the back at about the 45-yard line. As he steps up, we'll see it right here. See if it happens. I'd say no.
Braden Pritchard is making a name for himself right here. All throughout the night, very few mistakes. The poise in the pocket evident on about a handful of occasions.
And effective when he breaks the pocket as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's what separated him from maybe one or both of the other quarterbacks. A little lefty.
Whoa, that was dangerous. The ball's popped up.
Singleton's got it.
You got to be kidding me. He did catch it. And inbounds.
So right when you said it, he hits a white jersey right in the numbers. And I think it literally hit the guy in the numbers. Nope, in the hands.
And then off Singleton, and then he catches it.
Dear corporate, we've got another highlight for you. Sincerely,
us,
Darren and Dean. Sets up 3rd and short.
You hear about the golfing gods a lot. The football gods are in Wando's favor at the moment. And they just gave him a first down. 3rd time this Greenway defense has jumped. And this one gives a fresh set of downs to the Warriors.
Now these are the mistakes that you would usually see of a team that's coming out the first game, not the second game. And especially that one, because we've seen that one 3 times now, top of the screen. And we're going to see this play again.
I think it was supposed to be a screen, the way that the defensive line was allowed in.
Yeah.
Well, got away with it. This one's high, and it's 2nd down. He wanted Major.
His hands were wet. He went straight for the towel.
Yeah.
Right? It's a slippery grip.
Aren't those gloves supposed to actually activate a little more in
I was talking
moisture?
about the quarterback, not the wide receiver.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, you should put on gloves.
Yeah, their quarterbacks used to use gloves, right?
Some do.
Who did? Did Bernie Kosar?
I don't know. Peyton used one when he was getting older. It's a strange look, however.
Now they're going inside.
Singleton, that's not going anywhere. He runs into Glover. 220 pounds for the 6-footer.
Yeah, he just walked right into the wall, right? He just crashed down on the play. Got inside leverage on Hedrick. It sets up a 3rd and long. It's been a good football game tonight.
It really has. Wando has never trailed. They led it 7-0. They led it 14-7. And now 17-14. I think that's a fact that would stun many at this point in the game. They allow the defense in to set up the screen again. And he's breaking free, but not enough. Glover comes up 1.5 yards, 2 yards maybe shy.
And a flag down 9 yards behind where Glover comes down. They set up the screen. There's the push in the back. They're going to get 81 with the push in the back, and it's going to come back 15 from the spot. And that would have set up an interesting play, 4th and 2, right?
Very interesting decision. So if you're the Warriors now, essentially a full quarter to play. You got 3rd down and
12 more.
Yeah, more. 27. It's a 10-yard foul, 22.
You know, I was putting these notes together today. I thought about, you know, this is a team that's coming off of a 4-7, 5-7 campaign the last 2 years. Need a signature win early, right? Even though they've beaten Summerville 3 times out of the last 5 years, this would be marked as a signature win, right? This is a win that you got to have if you want to post that positive number this year.
And if you could do it in week 1 to kick off the season, it's even more impactful.
No pressure.
Pritchard unloads. McCarthy wins the fight at the 25, and he's down at the 23. A
very
jump
simple.
ball hauled in by McCarthy at the Low Country Orthopedic Sports Medicine 1st down.
I'm going to take you one further on that basketball analogy. It wasn't a jump ball. He blocked him out. Watch him use his backside to block him out. And how about Pritchard just dropping it in, right? It's as good as a punt if it's intercepted.
Yeah, it's a lot better than a punt now.
2 big plays in this football game. Look back at that one. You look back at the Glover return to start this game.
I'll add 1/3 in there. The Hopkins touchdown called back. Now Pritchard right through the hands of Glover with a flag down.
Going to be a hold, maybe a hands to the face.
You know what impressed me about that catch ineligible downfield?
What you got?
McCarthy wanted it more than McFadden. McFadden was almost stationary looking at the ball, and McCarthy was the one fighting for position to get the inside to go up there and win it. Even if Wando doesn't score on this drive, that completion is using time.
Yep.
And flipping the field.
I don't know. I think it was Dylan's freshman year. And I think it was a JV game, and I think it may have been against Summerville. But he absolutely got his head ripped off on a hit. Better pick that ball up.
It's incomplete. Just barely forward. This play is ruled dead at the throw. Dead long ago. Good effort.
He was absolutely crushed, right? I saw the video. It was one of those plays where you're like, this kid's never going to play football again, right? And then he comes back.
And if the wheels up there, Dean, are moving correctly, this would be quite a little get back for him.
Correct. Check with my scout on that play back in the day.
Chop House is ready to go.
Surprised they don't have a big head of you.
It's happened before.
Nuh-uh.
It did. Southern Conference tournament, I don't know, maybe 7-8 years ago. Western Carolina fans brought down a huge fat head of me in the stands. It was quite amusing. Here we go again. Inside the 10, Gabe Major sets up first and goal for the Warriors.
Tell you what, all day long, that offensive line tonight has stepped up, and right there, he gave him all the time he wanted. Look, no pressure at all. Major comes across the seam, and that was a kid who looked like he had his back broken earlier in the game on a play.
The ability of Wando to exploit the middle of Summerville's defense has been the difference of this game. The short passes over the middle, crossing from either side, the screens. It's opened everything else up.
Now they go to the run.
And Singleton isn't going to be touched. Wando can open up a 2-score lead with less than 7 to play.
Tell you what, great play calling. You throw it down the field, and they just drop the handoff to the left side, and again, like you said, nobody touches them. And a good job by the offensive line. Good job by Vanderveen down the field to pick up a block. Been really impressed with the quarterback play. Even more with the offensive line.
For a 10-point lead.
Roca.
Right through.
Solid.
Largest lead of the night for the Warriors. And the Green Wave, which broke through last year, finally getting past Fort Dorchester to capture their region. And already with a win under their belts, it's danger time for the Green Wave, down 10 in the fourth. Time for your stars and strikes getaway and play of the game. And what do we have here? We're taking you back to the first half.
Yeah.
Jose Hill, your stars and strikes getaway and play of the game.
Yeah. I think Pritchard has proven why he won out this quarterback battle. Jimmy Noonan said it came down literally to the last week or so.
If it came down to the last week or so, I'd love to see what other quarterbacks he's got in the hop.
Well, safe to say he's in a pretty good position.
Short kick. Didn't want it to go to Hopkins, but that is the result. Here goes Brody Hopkins now. Angling outside. Has midfields and is out of bounds at the 45.
He's fast.
Yeah, it's the right idea.
Really fast.
It's the right idea for that kickoff. It's the wrong guy to kick it to.
Correct. Okay, now imagine him in cleats playing center field, tracking down balls. Because once he turns his corner.
I like his spikes tonight. Gold, flashy.
Who's faster?
Brody or TJ?
Yeah, I don't know if TJ's watching up in Montana. I know they get internet service in Montana.
They
Brody.
could have a game as well.
See how Joe Call attacks it with 6:40 on the clock, down 10.
Shirey with a bit of a bandage on his throwing arm. That's new. And we got a flag in as this play starts. It's Larry plowing through the middle. And this could be another big play coming back against the Wave.
Is it a quick flag or is it encroachment? They're bringing him back. So it was an encroachment. False start. Yeah, two big penalties. One obviously larger than the other. Couldn't see it from that angle.
So back to midfield for the Green Wave. Dean, you said this a little while ago. If there's a team that looks like it's playing its first game this year, it's Summerville, not Wando.
Right.
More mistakes, certainly more penalties, more lack of cohesion offensively.
You know, that game was fairly close last week till late. I think they put up 50 points, but it was 27-24 in the third. Again, Woodland putting up 300 yards in the air.
This one's dropped. That's incomplete. It was a forward pass all the way. It's second down.
Tell you what, it was a really good throw. Let him put it right on the numbers, just couldn't hold it in.
Joe Call, Hunter Spivey, and company are going a little bit further down the depth chart here. This is the first time number 3 has been targeted, Trey Ankrum. He's got the size, 6'3" junior.
You get your three wide receivers, the bottom part of your screen. Hopkins guarded by Bumgardner.
Shirey feels the pressure behind him and is tracked down. Hit hard by Hampton Walker, who ran all the way from the far hash to bring him down.
Felt the pressure behind him, and they got out of the pocket, and then the pressure caught up with him, and then he felt the pressure behind him. Didn't want that one. I think he was looking for 7 down the field. Bumgardner had him guarded, and then the Maroon come in.
For a team that lost 3 games by a total of 9 points that you've pointed out a couple times tonight, holding on to this one, not just a signature win, but learning how to win.
Right.
And beating a team with the stature of the Green Wave.
Right.
There's 5 minutes to go. There's a lot of time, but it would likely go a long way. Down goes Shirey again. Trayvon Green gets him this time.
We talked about the offensive line for Wanda. Now the defensive line steps up with 5:09 left. And I see they brought in R.E. Leisure, a 5'6", 168 nose guard, putting pressure on the middle. Love it.
Green Wave take a timeout here. Probably decision time for Joe Call. 5 minutes to play, 1 timeout left. Will he punt or will he go? We'll know that answer the same time you will. First, our Will Lou Gray Never Stop Learning stop of the game. We've had a couple of good hits here tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he got stuck.
That was a good one. That was a good one. I did like it.
I liked it. Our Will Lou Gray Never Stop Learning stop of the game. If memory serves, that was Pickering who came up on Rollins. There's Joe Call. Kind of on the outside of that huddle here.
Yeah, you go 4th and 16 here with 5 minutes left. And the way Wando's moved the ball, I think this is I think you got to go for it. I think it's also important to say, you look at some of the guys at Summerville, and again, not taking anything away from Wando, right? Jonathan Bennett was one of the better quarterbacks
in a while
in the Low Country last year.
Yes. Bennett is the number 2 quarterback up at Liberty this year as a true freshman. Yeah, Summerville lost a lot. They're playing with 3 captains injured.
Summerville's offensive line got to come in, blitz on the top of the screen.
Shirey running for his life. McQueen got him. Kobe McQueen with a punctuation point.
We started talking about McQueen at the beginning of the game, and he crowns the green wave at the end of the game. Heck of a play.
Heck of a night.
Heck of a night. Is that our player of the game? We don't usually go defense.
We don't usually go defense. There's a flag down, and it is against the green wave. It's declined.
I don't know. We need to huddle up on this player of the game.
It's, again, there's 4:50 to play. A mistake puts them right back in the game.
Absolutely.
If Wando wins this game, taking it away from Pritchard as the player of the game is tough. And Singleton. We have 3 shirts to give?
All right, let's go. Let's just finish the game out here. Now they're going to run it.
Singleton doesn't like the right. He's going to try the left. Puts the ball on that side as well and tumbles his way down after a first down run. He got 11.
Singleton's a nice 25-yard touchdown run away from entering into the conversation.
Yeah, I wish we had.
We have 3 shirts.
I'd like A, 3 shirts. B, actual statistics. Because Pritchard's had a heck of a night. Singleton's had a heck of a night. And so has McQueen. So they'll likely use the majority of the play clock here. It is just now hitting 10. They're not really messing around. And the trust in Pritchard to throw, and it's caught by McCarthy after the tip.
Okay. You want to go ahead and play that way?
It shows you the faith Noonan has in Pritchard.
I know, but ball hits the ground, clock stops. Ball hits the white hands and goes the other way, the white jersey. Trust is fine.
Execution's better.
Better be safe than sorry right now. Up 10.
Pritchard looks very composed.
Clock all the way down to 3.
And there's Singleton. And Singleton will just take what the defense gives him there with 3.5 to play. Didn't have that burst that he's had before.
It's late. Still August. It's late in the game. He's probably had, what, 20? Would you say 20 carries?
He's had probably 20 touches total, yeah. It's the first time Harris has come into the game.
3rd and 3. Love the way he's using the clock. Comfortable to let that thing run down at 13 now. Will Harris.
3rd-year guy in this Wando backfield, 32.
He's right.
He's got it. And Harris
can be short
by a yard.
Summerville use a timeout here. Does not.
They haven't yet. So the clock has now worked itself down towards 2.5 minutes. There's still 25 seconds on the play clock, so they can get this down inside of 10.
I would be all right to
2:10.
let it run down to 1 second and then call a timeout.
It's at 12 as Pritchard lines up with Harris still in the game. He takes it at 7. Pritchard still got it. And Pritchard fires towards the goal line. It's caught. 1st and goal. Glover sets him up at the 2.
I like the play call a lot. Because I kept thinking, what's Harris doing? He's not even plowing into the line. And the guy who blows up the game in the beginning, making bacon late.
Welcome to Low Country Football, Braden Pritchard.
I think we just found our player of the game.
You throw a ball like that on 4th and 2 to ice the game here.
The clock stopped here. I'm not sure if the play clock started. Okay, it did.
He said he did. It's still at 25, though.
There you go. See, when you question the clock, guys,
and he's sitting right
and they're
behind
a
you.
foot away,
I know.
You're going to get your answers.
Tell you what.
It's not a penalty that is going to bother Wando here. And the longest.
Summerville have all their timeouts?
One timeout left.
Summerville.
Summerville has one timeout left.
Why aren't we just.
But that is it.
I'm running a play, and then we're kneeling it and going home, right?
Or we're giving it to Harris through the middle. And Harris still going. Got back what was lost there on the penalty.
We got a skirmish at the 10.
Yeah, this was not the trip Summerville expected. The longest road trip of the year for the Green Wave. Here's your Cruise Chevrolet drive of the game.
He's the lefty.
The southpaw. Look at this.
The Tar Heel lefty is now Palmetto State pride down here in the Low Country. And a really, really impressive game by Singleton. We talked about him in the opening, that he was absolute a monster early on in his career. Then he got hurt, struggled with injuries, and I would say today's coming out party.
Summerville takes the timeout. You just got to look at the Cruise Chevrolet drive of the game and the U.S. Marine Corps player of the game. We're going Pritchard because all the girls like quarterbacks, right? And when you have a game like this,
they don't like the center?
Depends. If you're the long snapper, who's one of the best in the country, maybe.
Love that throw.
Pritchard's thrown for a couple of touchdowns today.
And then the McCarthy throw was a big one. And that was 3rd and a lot.
Yes.
And then the 4th and 2.
Right here, down inside the 5. Perfect. Well done, Braden Pritchard, U.S. Marine Corps player of the game. So Wando can go ahead and kill the clock right now.
I think they want 7. Right?
It seems as such. Harris stays in the game,
nope.
But Pritchard wants it himself.
Man.
First rushing touchdown of the career of Braden Pritchard, capping off his U.S. Marine Corps player of the game honors with the final dagger to Summerville.
Great play calling all night long, right? The 4th and 2 throw. The 3rd and long to McCarthy. They have shown a lot in this first game, coming off a disappointing 4-7 season.
Whoop.
We'll just take it.
May as well, right?
Sure.
And he's in.
Why not?
Will Pickard.
He may be short. I think he's starting to cramp up again. Hell of an effort. Great stuff. A smile on Jimmy Noonan's face.
Smile took up the whole screen, didn't it?
I want to also talk about this quickly here as we get ready for the kickoff. Cruise Chevrolet, Cruise Subaru, you got a friend in the car business. They have been an absolute blessing to this community. They've given back so many ways, so many different ways. One of our title sponsors, but this is what they're doing for the Wando Band. They're holding a raffle to win this car. It's a 2019 Subaru Crosstrek. Go to wandobands.org/car raffle. That's car raffle with 2 R's and 2 F's, by the way.
Is.
Right?
Or,
yes, it's .org/caraffle. Drawing's going to be October 26th. It's $20 a ticket, 3 for $50, 7 for $100. You got an opportunity to take part in it. Do so. You got an opportunity to say hi to Ken French or Robert Cruz.
Just tell them thanks for what they do in the community.
Absolutely. I have a Subaru from Cruz Subaru as well.
Very nice.
Had it for a while, which means I still like it.
I hear you.
Wando is going to enjoy this, and Summerville will have a lot of tape to watch and a lot of things to fix. They have been shut out here in the second half. The penalties tonight have crushed the Green Wave. Not only did it take away Brody Hopkins' touchdown run that would have given the Green Wave the lead in the third quarter, but that penalty that took away that run and took away that lead also took away any bit of momentum that the Green Wave may have been building. And they haven't been able to bounce back from that play, particularly in the third quarter. All right, we know there's a storm out there, Dorian, and we know that the best meteorologist in town is Dave Williams, so follow him. ABC News 4, chief meteorologist on air, online, social media. He will have the latest on Dorian. He will not scare you. He will keep it nice and straightforward. There's nobody else that I trust than Dave Williams when it comes to this stuff, so keep it tuned to him as we watch and hope as Dorian approaches. Summerville can't stop the clock. Use this now as a learning experience in your 2-minute drill with your sophomore quarterback. Darian Larry is going to be right around the mark for the first down.
Good work by Jimmy Noonan. Good work by his staff. It was interesting, it was 2012 when they were 10-2. The quarterback on that team was Christian Hart, who is now an assistant coach over on the Summerville sidelines, works with the JV team over there. It's been tough sledding the last couple of years. But the one thing we noticed last year against the Fort Dorchester game, that was a team that played with an incredible amount of heart. I came away, I think they lost 17-3 in the regular season game, and then we saw it again here tonight with this team.
What a way to open your season in front of a great home crowd. Give them reasons to keep coming back. Great new stadium, a team that now has a whole lot of anticipation and promise ahead of them, maybe more so than they may have been given before the year started. They'll give up this touchdown run here to Darian Larry as time winds off. So Summerville is not shut out in the second half, but they will topple the Green Wave and begin the year 1-0.
And I'm going to tell you how important this win is for them. They play Stahl next week. Figure that's a win. Nothing against Stahl. Then they go to Fort Dorchester. And then you've got West Ashley and Ashley Ridge away. You get Fort Dorchester here. So you've got three of your, and then Berkeley. West Ashley, Ashley Ridge, Berkeley. And that's how important this win is, right?
Yes.
Fort Dorchester's a different beast altogether. Size-wise, no one matches up with them I've seen so far. But a great way to start the season for the guys in maroon.
They started it with the opening kickoff. Took it back inside the 10, 18 seconds into this game. Wando led it. Wando never trailed. Quite an opening statement for the Warriors. They're 1-0 on the year. Summerville, in its second game, falls back to 500. Offense, defense, special teams, all impressive for the Warriors. Braden Pritchard wins the starting job under center and was outstanding. We'll bring you back for the trophy presentation. Jimmy Noonan and company, the Warriors, knock off the Green Wave. 32-20, Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. What a night here in Mount Pleasant. The Wando Warriors begin the year 1-0. They have a new starting quarterback who has jumped onto the scene, and they have a trophy heading their way. Megan Rivers is down there in that crowd.
All right, I'm down here with our player of the game, the winning team, and a coach. How you guys doing today? How does it feel to be player of the game?
Feels great. I couldn't have done that with my teammates.
Okay. All right, Coach, you guys turned things around down here. It was a little, you were a little concerned at the halftime, but you guys got a big win here tonight. How proud of you are you guys?
Well, it's a tremendous win. You always want to get off on the right foot. Every program does. But against a program with a lot of history, as Summerville has, and of course they came off a great season last year, going to a low state championship. And, our guys were challenged. They've been working their rear ends off for an entire year. And, it feels good right now. It's a long season ahead of us. And, first half we left a lot on the field. We know that. And, we didn't want to get into, their mentality. They're going to churn that clock, okay? And our defense bowed up right there at the beginning of the second half. And then the offense took over and started making plays. And, we just played good, solid. We won that second half.
Okay, good game. What are you guys going to do to prepare for your next game?
The same thing we did for the first one. We're going. We'll enjoy this for a short time, and then we'll get back to work.
All right, congratulations to our player of the game, sponsored by Stars and Strikes, pushed by Cruz Chevrolet. We have a trophy for you guys. There you go. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out.
Let me out. Let me out. Let me out.
Sounds like some conditioning is coming the way for the Warriors.
Yeah, I'm going to make it a shirt. It's just going to say, let me out, let me out, let me out.
All right, thanks to all our sponsors for making FNR possible. Next week, we've got another one coming your way on Stars and Strikes Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. Our final score tonight, because of a late touchdown, 32-20, the Warriors win it. Later tonight, we've got ABC News 4 at 11, Friday Night Rivals with Scott Eisberg and Brzezowski. See you next week, Stars and Strikes Friday Night Rivals, driven by Cruz Chevrolet. For my partner, Dean Stevens, everyone down in the truck, awesome job. I'm Darren Goldwater. We'll talk to you next week.
Channel 1, Channel 2.